It's midnight. But don't go to sleep now. It's time for Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. Featuring Wolfman Mike, Jeff the Grey, Adam Shadow, and Darren, the man with 1,000 questions. Now join us as we explore the mysterious nature of our world. Igor, release the monsters from the dungeon. Crack some drinks and let go. Unwind, open your mind, just know.
Fireballs, lunar anomalies, Sasquatch, UFOs. It's Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. It's Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. It's Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. It's Monster Castle.
Willie in Alaska. Our moral compass, Curtis Green. With Eric the Protector and Hugs from Apocalypse. The Angry Bob and Keeping It Real with Stabby McHugs. Crack some drinks and let go. Unwind, open your mind, just know.
Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep.
Remote viewing, rabbit toys, glowing orbs, lost treasures, Martian artifacts, the chupacabra. Debbie, daily, it's Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. It's Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. It's Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. It's Monster Castle, Monster Castle Paranormal Radio Show.
What's going on, everybody? I'm sorry we had some big sound trouble, big shitty sound trouble. Oh yeah, but it's still going on. But I'm just doing it the old school, like Willie says. Can you do it the old school way, man? Fuck yeah, we can.
Oh yeah.
Eric's calling in. All right, add to group. Oh shit, missed it. I'll get him.
Yeah, he's out there in the desert.
Oops.
At that huge conference.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, Joshua Tree.
Okay, we're adding Eric in. How's it going, Darren? And we have John Carman with us, everyone. All right.
Yes. You want to talk about who he is and.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're adding Eric. Hold on, I got to turn off. I need to turn down my device. Hold on, turn down my device.
Turn down your device.
Oh, I can't. Oh my God, I can't. Hold on. Oh, there, the device has been turned down. I apologize, Art. Mr. Bell, I apologize.
That's no problem. We've got Mr. John Carman with us tonight, the whistleblower.
I like John. John, I'm happy to meet you, sir. How are you this evening?
Good. Who's this?
I'm the Awakening Man here in California, but at the moment I am at the Joshua Tree, California. We're at the Contact in the Desert, and we have multiple sightings tonight.
Cool. I was thinking about going up there. That's like 2 hours and
Oh, really? You ought to come up. It just started. It's going all weekend. You ought to come and check it out. The temperature is beautiful. It's like 80, and it's a little bit of wind. It's beautiful. It's nice.
Yeah, I hear Clyde Lewis is up there too.
Yeah, we met Clyde Lewis. We actually sat and talked with him for about 20 minutes. We're going to be on a radio show.
I was supposed to meet with him. How tall is he really?
He's a big man. He's not super tall, but he's like, you wouldn't want to wrestle with this guy. I'm just saying, if he got pissed, you just want to get out of the way as fast as you can.
Yeah, I'm a black belt, and I did wrestle.
Well, okay, well then that's a different story. Then I
wrestled in school.
What I just said.
Yeah, I'm a heavyweight wrestler, so I used to wrestle in school too. So
yeah, no, Clyde's a good old boy. He's just he's steak and potatoes and quite a few beers is going to be the best guess I can give you. But he's an intelligent man.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to drive up there. I just didn't have a good excuse to go up there.
Hey, I'll buy you a drink, or I'll buy you a sandwich, or smoke a bowl with you, whatever you want.
Well, he just tried.
My bad. It's legal in California. You know that, right, Mr. Carman?
Well, of course. I've got a medical marijuana card myself.
Well, there you go. Then my offer stands.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an ex-narc, and I have political opinions about that stuff as well, but.
Hey, you know what happens in the desert stays in the desert. You know.
well, that's what all the dead bodies keep saying. You know.
Oh God! No, there's 3,000 people up here. There's. I don't think no one's gonna disappear out of nowhere. I don't think that's gonna happen.
If you're familiar with China Lake, I used to live there.
Really?
Yeah, I went to school there. I lived there for 3 years. I went to Death Valley just for fun. I mean, I was raised in all kinds of environments, so. I know how to survive desert climate. Plus, I worked at Calexico when I was at U.S. Customs, so that's another desert climate.
Yeah.
115 in the shade.
Is China Lake?
Yeah, this is my first time here in Joshua Tree. Actually, it's pretty interesting.
What about the?
Are you familiar with James Gillian? Does that name ring a bell? He has the ESETI Ranch, where the people come out and they literally watch orbs and UFOs fly all over the place.
No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, Google that guy, James Gillian, ESETI Ranch. He brings people to his ranch, and they chip in a donation, whatever that is, and they camp out there. And you're guaranteed. He guarantees you 100% or your money back that you will see something. That's what he says. True story. He said it live tonight in front of 3,000 people.
Well, where's he located at?
What state is that in, John? ESETI Ranch. Do you know where that is? Idaho or Washington or something like that?
It's not Arizona?
No, I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But the reason why I even bring it up is he was doing this presentation. It was about 9:15 Pacific time. This is
there it is. Now I found it. Yeah, it's ESETI Ranch and James Gilliland.
That's the guy. We hung out with him. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I used to work with a guy with a last name similar, but that looks like it's up in the northwest type of thing. Oh, by the way, before I go off on a subject here, I was going to ask, how much were the tickets? Because they never mentioned how much the tickets were.
I got a wristband for the weekend. I think it was $225, so I can go. I can walk and go anywhere I want. That's for the whole weekend, for 3 days.
But
John,
but
where do you sleep?
The cool thing.
You need a place to sleep. I got a place. We got a place there. I can, if you want to crash. If you just want to come for one night, like tomorrow night would be perfect. I'm dead serious. You'd have a blast. Or Sunday's fine too, but tomorrow night's the night.
Yeah,
you can drive down if you want to crash here. We've got a place for you. You can crash on the couch, and get up, whatever. We got coffee. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I was just kind of worried about the $200 because I'm kind of strapped for money. I mean, I could drive up, but I'd have to be.
Well, there might be like a one-day pass type deal. I'm pretty sure they don't. I got the whole 3-day deal. So if it's just one day, it's probably like $80 or $100. I don't know. I know some people. I'll pull some strings if you want. I'll somehow get your number through Wolfman. I'll make some things happen. I'll see if I can get you some sort of discount or a deal or whatever.
Yeah, because I've been a regular guest with Clyde Lewis several times regarding Secret Service stuff, White House shooting.
Well, Clyde knows you. We're going to see him tomorrow. I'll tell you what. I'm on Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on it, but I don't really use it too much.
Okay, if you want to follow me, I'm at Awakening Man.
Hold on.
And you can follow me, and then we can direct message. I can get, we can exchange information, and then I'll talk to Clyde in the morning, and then we'll try to get you in. Maybe we can just get you in the door without, as a special guest or something.
Well, yeah,
like a one-day pass type of deal.
That would be cool, because then I could actually see Clyde. I don't know, is Ron Patton going to be there, or one of his producers?
I think he is there. That guy is sitting there with him. As a matter of fact, that's the other guy that we were talking to tonight.
Exactly. See, I know all the names, most of them, but Stephen Greer, is that the other guy?
He's here. Okay, everybody's here. We got Richard Bleepin Dolan, Linda Moulton Howe, Stephen Greer, David Wilcock, Corey Good. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And Laura Eisenhower, who's, I don't know if you've heard of her.
I've screened her. She's wacko.
She's wacko, but we could talk privately about that. But the bottom line is, everybody that's a who's who in this industry is here, and it's beautiful. It's lovely.
No, I don't like to slam people, but I listen to her stuff on YouTube very carefully, and I really listen to it in detail. But there's a little bit of a problem with the fact that she may or may not be related to somebody with that name. And I go, wait a minute, David Eisenhower didn't have 3 kids; he had 2. So there's kind of a screw-up somewhere, but that's okay. I've dealt with those kind of people before. But the story...
you could be entirely right. You could be entirely right about that.
Well, I'm ex-Secret Service. I tend to have to know certain things because you've heard of Camp
David. I'm sure you
David.
can bet people...
What?
Yes. So Wolfman, is Wolfman still here, or is he...
Oh, yeah, Wolfman's still here. All right, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take over the show, but I'll hang out. You go ahead, Wolfman, you talk for a while.
No, you and Darren go ahead. I'm still working on my sound problems. Unless you need
Darren,
to...
you got any questions, Darren?
Well, I was going to ask you, you can still go there and meet everybody without paying, right?
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Is that Eric? Is that Eric on the Awakening Man page?
Yes, that's me with the makeup on. I was a Halloween costume, by the way, just so you know.
Are you kidding? It reminds me of the demon with the glass hand or whatever. No, demon whatever it was with Robert Culp. Do you remember that? Outer Limits. You never saw that?
I did not. It's supposed to be a blue avian.
Yeah, you've got to see this black and white. It's like an episode. I think it's Demon with the Glass Hand, and he was some sort of a futuristic.
What was that, like in the 50s or the 60s?
60s.
That's you know what? If we went back to the 50s and 60s and played, people don't realize, and you probably know this, in the 50s when UFOs and whatnot just became a thing. They were making movies every week. I mean, they were putting them in the theaters. There's all sorts of UFO movies constantly being played in the theaters.
Oh, hell yeah. Day the Earth Stood Still was a famous one. I've got that.
And they made like the shitty B movies just to get them out there because people wanted to just eat that stuff up. They ate it up in the 50s.
Well, that's what was going on. But that's what I was saying. Your makeup matches exactly the makeup on these guys that were the opposing aliens that were going to take over the planet. But yeah, you're right. They made all those movies that were really cool. You know, Mars Attacks, Day the Earth Stood Still. You name it. All these movies were pretty cool. But there's a select few that really tie in to the subject. That are probably some of the best ones. I'll even save one of those. But
and what about the creature from the Black Lagoon, which was basically like an amphibious reptilian creature, which some people think that there's really people or beings like that on this earth.
I'll say that there are. I've seen a picture or two and video of one with the webbed hand, the larger eyes, the skull with the ridges on the top of the skull and everything. So it's an amphibious being.
Yeah, I believe
insurance is not knowing if you have coverage when your car bumps.
What the heck? Who did the commercial?
That was funny, though.
Yeah, that stuff ties in. They've got merman, mermaids, whatever. They've got that stuff. All the stuff that we got under the surface of the earth, in the water, is here, but nobody wants to talk about it because it's a big secret. And since we're talking whistleblower stuff, I'll tell you this. I got a friend of mine named Art Campbell who's got a website called UFOcrashbook.com.
I was going to say, I've heard that name before. That's very familiar.
He will do a show with you just because I say it. He'll do it.
I love it.
He had information about Eisenhower, the real president, who met with aliens at an air base like Holloman or Edwards.
Yes, that's correct. You're correct.
And they shut down the
Eric,
base
please,
for 6 to 8 hours.
Don't be like Kurt. You're eating while you're talking on the air.
I'm sorry.
You're on the air, man.
Bad,
Please don't do that.
And I'm craving chips right now. I'm going to go get a bag of chips and chew in between, right? But they had 2 Secret Service agents on a manifest, and he sent me the list. He had a copy of it, and I looked at it. I said, well, those 2 agents, I know the names. 2 of those agents were there in Dallas in '63. Now, I don't know if there's a connection, but the point is, when you got agents going out, you're not going to have the president going anywhere because he's too important to lose. And if he goes aboard an aircraft, he's got to be accounted for with these agents. So there's all kinds of stuff about treaties that people don't understand because they're ignorant and they don't get into that. Eric and all these other people on the radio right now that we're talking to would understand probably because the intelligence level of people like us is a lot different than other people that they don't get it. But there's been treaties since 1947, so I think it goes back to like Truman, then it gets to Eisenhower. Nixon was part of something, but he never wanted to meet with these people because he knew they had telepathic capabilities. And if you remember, there was a guy named Valiant Thor.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of a new name for me in the last several years. But if you research what happened, this guy just shows up, and I could never get a straight picture of what the guy really looked like because they have 2 versions of it. But he met with Eisenhower and gave him a book or a document so that the planet could be fixed, changed, upgraded, and everything would be fine. We'd all have food, there wouldn't be any disease, et cetera, et cetera. And supposedly Eisenhower looked at it for up to a year and decided against it. But this guy stayed on for 3 to 4 years to visit. Yes, and he was living in an apartment over at the Pentagon building, like they normally keep apartments, but they have special rooms. They have places for everything. Yeah. But when I asked people, I said, "Do you remember who the intelligence guy was? Who the vice president was back then?" When you say Eisenhower, and they go, "No, I don't remember." Well, do you remember a guy named Richard Milhouse Nixon? Does that ring a bell? And then they all drop their jaws because they don't remember past the last 8 to 10 years.
Wow.
That's how people are. So if you go back in time and look at this history, it'd be like you looking at Hillary and say, well, Hillary was on the Watergate prosecution team with Kenneth Starr and people like that. And I said, really? I didn't know that. She got fired.
Yeah.
Well, another subject, but that's just
she's been a crook for a long time.
Oh yeah,
she's no beginner. That's for sure.
Well, I'll freak you out. I know some of the bodyguards because I met with these guys, the troopers from Arkansas, and I know what really goes on.
Are they still alive? Some of them, or I bet you some are dead right now. Most
of them are dead. I know one of them is still alive, but you know what? After I met with this guy, and I met with Johnny Chung. I was protecting a former KGB Colonel Stanislav Lunev, who's a protected a political asylum case, who testified before the Senate House hearing on foreign intelligence. He's the one that wrote the book Through the Eyes of the Enemy. Real character. I've got a book signed by him in Russian and English, Yeah. But I met with a lot of these people, and they'd start dying off, and that's what they do. That's what the Clintons do. They have a Clinton body count. You can pull it up. I've seen it on emails after a while.
Okay, I got to interrupt you real quick. What do you think the Seth Rich guy, do you think he got bumped off by the Hillary team or field stuff, or do you know much about that?
Yeah, that's like a rhetorical question, right?
I'm sorry, my bad.
No.
Your thoughts on that?
no, it's kind of a sarcastic joke because
it is. I'm a sarcastic guy, actually.
A lot of people.
Oh, we don't know anything about sarcasm.
Yeah.
You got when you're talking about something as stupid and ridiculous and insane as this, you got to have a little sarcasm, as far as I know.
No, but you have to ask the straight question too, because it's like Abbott and Costello. There's a straight man, and then there's the other guy.
Exactly.
You got to have the balance. But
okay, the straight question is, what's your take on Seth Rich, sir?
No, wait a minute. Let's go back to Adam and Costello. Do you remember that skit?
Okay.
Do you remember that skit where Abbott falls off the boat? It's an ocean liner, and Costello's up there and saying, and he's yelling to him, saying, "Help me! Hey, throw me a lifesaver! Oh, I think I got some. What do you want, cherry or he's throwing these little lifesavers in the water."
I didn't see that scene, but that's like a picture.
Don't even ask who's on first, because that's like a never-ending battle. You know, I've actually got the movie. What is it? Frankenstein meets Wolfman.
That was the best movie ever. Abbott Costello.
Right.
Have you seen that, Wolfman?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's I'll tell you what. I could put that on just about any time and enjoy it completely.
Yeah, I've got it on my laptop, and
I love that movie.
After a while,
that's a good movie on a rainy day when you can't work, you can't do anything, you just want to lay around in bed. You just put that on. You know, at least that's my take.
And watch scary movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know if you remember in California, in San Francisco, back in the 70s, there was a show called Creature Features. Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, I
remember
watched
that? What was it? Wilkins? Bob Wilkins, right?
Oh, I can't
kind of the goofy looking guy with the glasses. He was the host of the show. But
wait a minute. I might have a source here, Eric. Let me ask you something, because I've dealt with this paranormal stuff and you mentioned Creature Features. I used to watch a show in San Diego that was out of KTLA, Los Angeles 5, I think it was, late at night on a Friday night. Here we are on a Friday night. And at 11 o'clock, the screen would go black in the dark because you're sitting there watching TV in the dark, and it was black and white anyway. Then all of a sudden, you'd see this moon-like white dot in the distance, and then it would come and zoom in closer and closer and closer. And it was either before that they showed a cemetery, dark cemetery scene, and then they showed the white dot, and it would come in close, and then all of a sudden it would come up to the screen, and it was a bald, white, wrinkly, old, scary guy, And he would talk with such a screwed-up voice, he sounded like he had cancer or something, really something nasty. And he would introduce the movie that was coming up, and that was 11 o'clock at night. And by that time, it's like, oh my God, you're holding your eyes open with toothpicks so that you keep them open. But that's when they played the movies, the best scary movies late at night, 11 o'clock at night. And if you're a kid and you got up early, you're up since 6:30 in the morning.
Okay, so let me throw two movies at you that I remember that really rocked my consciousness. One was not a horror movie, but it was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Remember that? With Betty Davis, and then Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Yeah. That was kind of like another Psycho type.
Yeah,
deal,
Psycho kind of movie. But then with the Night of the Living Dead came out, the original Night of the Living Dead.
Wait a minute.
Was freaky.
Wait a minute. I knew a guy in the Secret Service that lived in Pennsylvania. When that movie was made, he was an extra, and that was 1968, 69, I think.
Yes.
How would I know that, right? How would I know that?
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, so, the zombies were great in those days. They were realistic.
And places like that. I know guys ex-Secret Service back there in Pennsylvania right now, and I'm going, God, who would want to live in that place if it's cold and damp and, miserable during the wintertime before it snows, But that's what that place was like. So it was like, my God, you could kill people and bury bodies everywhere. Nobody would know, because you're out on a farm or something, So
right.
It's kind of scary. Yeah, I used to watch something called Mona Lisa, which was a local San Diego station.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, you know who Elvira is.
Oh, Elvira. Oh, God, yes.
Right? Well, Elvira took off from the same type of character that Mona Lisa was. Oh, Mona Lisa, if she's still alive, is like 70 right now. Yeah,
Elvira, you know what? She looked good for like 30 or 40 years. Elvira. I don't know what she looks like now, but...
Oh, Cassandra Peterson?
Yeah.
Hey, I already looked her up. I know all about her.
Oh, really? Just share some
Yeah.
insights if you got some. I'd be curious to
Well,
hear.
I think she participated in a VHS movie of some sort years ago, and she displayed.
Would start with a P and end with an O.
Yeah, something like that. She displayed her delicious attributes, is a nice
There you
way to
go.
say.
Awesomenesses.
And she's still hot. She could put on that wig and makeup and tight outfit, no problem.
Yeah. I think she had enhancement in the upper chest area, but it looked good on her. She had a good surgeon, I think.
Well, she knows how to twist those things to go opposite
Take angles.
direction, same direction. That takes a skill. But that's the kind of stuff that made things interesting. And I was listening and watching this. So, oh yeah, it just kind of takes me back to when I was when I was 10 years old, 8 or 10 or whatever, back in the 60s, because that's what was the time frame. I was in 63. I was 10 years old. Just to give you a time frame. So who would know? Think about this. 11 years later, I would be 21 and in the Secret Service.
Wow. Okay, hold on a second. I got to ask you a question. Wolfman, are you there? Darren, are you there? Somebody.
Yeah, maybe
Okay, I'm
it's
going to
just
ask you. Okay, here's my question. So let's go from high school as a senior. When did you have this inkling that you were interested in this? Because obviously something happened between 18 and 21. Share me. I don't want to hear that part of the story if you haven't told it already.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
I'm here too, by the way. It takes a while.
Has he told this story before on the show, or
No,
am I asking
no.
a question that's not repetitive?
who, Wolfman or me?
No, I'm
Keep
asking
going.
you. I'm asking you.
Oh.
Have you answered? Have you talked about this on Wolfman's show in the past?
No, I haven't talked.
I
about
want to
that.
talk about this. This is important in my opinion.
Well,
what do you
let
think, Darren?
me explain.
Okay.
First off, being in a military family, I lived in different locations every 3 years, and we transferred from San Diego to Texas, from Texas to San Diego, back to Texas, and then Japan. So I went to three
Wow.
high schools.
Wow.
3 high schools. I was in freshman in Texas, right in the middle of the first several months. I transferred to Japan, finished out the freshman year, which was the same year in '68 that Martin Luther King got killed, Robert Kennedy got killed, just to time frame it, March, April, May, June, right in the same 3-month period. And then I did 3 years over there. I was in sports. I was talking about we were talking about the wrestling. I was martial arts, judo, baseball, basketball, wrestling, shot put, the whole 9 yards. So I've got some records back there. I broke some records.
Well, let me guess. Are you around 6'2"?
6'3".
I was close.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, let me guess. When you were in your top shape, you were probably around 195 to 205 in that range?
210.
Oh, you had some muscle mass then.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't screw around. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs or anything. And I was practically a virgin, so that makes it even worse.
You had a lot of testosterone flowing through your body, probably.
Exactly. So I was doing martial arts and all this other stuff, and when I left Japan, I was teaching that stuff and doing it on my own. So I was out running 5-6 miles a day, working out with weights, going to the gym, doing the punching bag, speed bag, weights, running back, and then finishing up with martial arts, stretching, and all that other stuff. So I was in damn good shape. I had to slow down at the police academy. They told me, hey, you're going too fast, slow down. Really? I mean, I have to chase people and be able to jump tall buildings at a single bound type thing. And I did. I caught people. I chased them in the vehicle, and then they'd bail out of the car, and I'd chase them down and catch them at the top of a fence and rip them down.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, no offense, but Starsky and Hutch just came to my mind right now. Starsky and Hutch.
Well, the problem is I didn't have very many partners, and that happened. And if you grow up in the idealistic world, you go, hey, if I wear a badge and you wear a badge, we're brothers. problem is, as a whistleblower, I found out the hard way that not all these guys that wear badges are brothers. There are some dirty people out there.
Yeah.
So I had all these experiences when I was a kid. I was very spiritual when I was 5.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, was your family Catholic or Christian?
No, just barely Christian. Barely.
Okay, so you were spiritual in a natural way. It wasn't influenced by your family? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. My dad was military. He wasn't a religious type, even though we went to church and I went to Sunday school routinely. My mom was kind of influencing, but I hung around people that were like religious types. But I didn't like going to a Catholic school for kids. All males in one class. No, I didn't go for that either. So it was kind of
okay. Since you just brought that up, I want to ask you a question. This is kind of dark, but there, you hear these stories, and I tend to believe some of them, where there is these Catholic schools where some of these priests and whatnot, for whatever reason, they infiltrated and they're doing bad things to little boys. I mean, are you familiar with those?
Of course, yeah, I'm familiar with those cases.
That's real stuff. It's like Pizzagate, but in a different kind of way, right?
Yeah. No. I've had a lot of experience in investigating all kinds of cases when I was as a private investigator, and I'm very familiar with the cover-ups. See, that's the problem. When you get into a certain category of law enforcement and you see what's going on, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure it out. Believe me.
No, I hear you. My dad was a private investigator, by the way, and that's kind of probably where I got my inquisitive mind questioning thing. I just was trained to think that way. So anyway, I relate to what you're saying, but keep going. I'm very interested.
Yeah, well, there's tons of stuff. I'm just trying to sit here, and I was going to send you a message because I've got your tweet thing up here, but
okay, I don't have my laptop on, but you could send it, and if I don't respond, I'll definitely respond tonight or tomorrow morning.
Oh, here we go. I could send you my, and this is something you'll get, and it's not shared, right?
Okay, yeah. If you follow me,
I tweeted.
You can direct message me if you want, or you could just tweet me, and then I'll direct message you.
Well, every time I send a tweet to Donald Trump, you only have so many characters, like 120 characters or something.
140.
Unless you go to one of these message things, which you can actually go into detail. But I'm going to send you my contact information.
Okay.
And then you could call me. We'll talk.
I'll get a hold of you. I'll probably if I get a hold of you by around 10ish, in the 10 to 11, and then you get the word, then you can be down here by 1 or 2. Are you thinking, or what?
I think if you try to put him in a hold, you'll end up in a headlock.
You know what? I think you should just get up and start driving and just trust the process. That's right, Wolfman. Am I a pretty reliable guy as far as you know, Wolfman?
Well, the last time I drove up to Palm Springs, I was working on a case for a lady that was kind of crazy. And I had to spend the night in a room. It was real sandy, dusty in the desert type stuff because they left windows open and they didn't clean the house very much, I guess. And I had a loaded gun. And I'm waiting for somebody to show up. Nobody showed up. But this woman's like wandering around at 1 o'clock in the morning because she's like acting like she's on meth, right?
I'll be on a minute. Okay. I'm sorry. Somebody just walked in. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
No, I'm listening to you.
So anyway, I was up there, and then I had to get paid some money. When I left, my differential started making noise. Like a bucket of bolts in a coffee can. Yeah. So that was kind of scary because that's like almost, what is it, 200 miles? That's like 150 miles, I think, somewhere around there. So
let me ask you a question. Let's just, have you ever been, some people accuse me of being like a CIA or government.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how I look or the way I talk or the tone of my voice, they just assume, and so I get this label. Doesn't that kind of irritate you a little bit sometimes?
Well, yeah, it's how you carry yourself. Like, I was accused of that stuff when I was in school, and it's because I was such a straight-laced guy, and I go, hey, I knew what I was going to do when I was, 7 years old. So I knew I was going to be a cop or law enforcement, and I thought, well, maybe I'll be a forest ranger, Smokey the Bear stuff, and Then I went, no, I'm going to go catch bad guys because we need more people to catch bad guys. So I did all. But I hear your voice. You have a good radio voice.
Somebody just posted President Trump's Twitter in the Spreaker chat room. ACOG.
Oh, yeah?
ACOG, yeah.
Yeah, he's a tweeting fool.
Can anybody
Yeah,
hear me?
he's going to be over there in Israel talking to Netanyahu, who I've
I don't trust that guy, Netanyahu. That guy is, I don't trust
I've
that
heard
guy
it all. I've heard it all. I've communicated.
Do you trust him? What does your gut say? Don't forget what you heard. What does your gut tell you about that guy?
I trust Netanyahu. I trust Putin with my left testicles, all three of them.
Really?
And this guy's in judo. Okay.
I hear you on Putin, but I'm not feeling the other guy in Israel. We'll talk privately about this. I have a deep conspiracy theory about all this, but maybe I'm off.
You want to talk to Putin? Putin right here.
Tell me. I'm not afraid of your opinion. I'm just letting you know.
But you better be afraid of Putin. I'm right here. You want to talk to me? I'm right here.
Dos Vidania.
I have vodka. I'm a little bit drunk, so you better be good.
Oh, wait. You just said something. Vodka?
He did say vodka.
Yes, I am drinking vodka. I'm in a bad mood.
I'm going to make a disclosure here. I was standing post in front of a military attaché. I won't mention which Russian embassy it was. Somewhere near Kalorama Road, which is like right across the street from a Muslim temple near where Buchanan lives right now. I don't think it's active right now, but I remembered the address, 2552 Belmont. And if you looked it up, you could see pictures off Google or something. But point is, on a freezing, ice-cold night, I think it was either New Year's or Christmas. I think it was Christmas. I had a supervisor show up in a vehicle. He goes inside, and I think, well, that's kind of unusual. So he goes inside. He's talking to these Russians, and apparently they contacted them and say, hey, look, we want to celebrate Christmas with you guys. We're sitting here. You guys are out there, and we need to have some vodka and have hugs and stuff like that because they're good guys and all that. And they are.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, John, but there's somebody in the chat room. I don't know if he's there. Apocalypse. He'll hug anybody.
Really?
Yeah, Wolfman.
Yes,
is that dude in the chat tonight? Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, Apocalypse.
You
Say
guys hear
hi.
me right now?
Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah, he'll hug a fucking roach.
Dude, he's on the air with us.
Oh, he is. Let him talk. I'll shut up. Go, Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I hug everybody. I bring love. I think hugs. It has a chemical thing to it. So it makes you act nice. It makes you act right. So I think that's why I have to hug everyone because it relieves everyone. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. Actually, I'm down with that. I'm totally down with that.
They're called endorphins.
That's the word. That long word.
Yeah, that's something I crave because I don't get enough of it myself. But I know all about endorphins. You get those triggered. Yeah, it's like all these people go to church and they go to church once a week. Yeah, they're not going to church to listen to the guy at the pulpit. They want to get hugs from these people left, right, in front of them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There's an endorphin release. You're exactly right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of interesting paranormal stuff into that too. But I didn't.
Well, if you decide to drive down here, John, I'm just telling you right now. I was talking to my friend, the Reverend John Polk, who I'm in a separate room from him. But there are a lot of beautiful people here, and there's these two tall blonde women that I'm 6'4.5". These women were at least 6'3", and they didn't have heels on. And I'm about a 35-inch. They were at least 30. I mean, their legs were 36 minimum. But so they walked by us, and they're beautiful. They're like supermodels. I said, "Oh my God, there's the tall whites."
Wow!
And they both turned at the same time and laughed. And it's like, but anyway, there's a lots of beautiful women up here. If Darren or the Wolfman or
damn.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
let me get dressed right now.
Yeah, get dressed. Trust me.
I got a full tank of gas. I think I can make it.
I'll introduce you personally, John, to some minimum 9s, minimum.
Wow.
And you can chat. They're nice people. There's no ego. There's no pretensions. People just hanging out, relaxing, talking about, E.T. and the whole, paranormal cosmetology that's, throughout the universe and the dimensions that we're...
I've studied that stuff since I was a kid when UFO magazine was popular back in the 60s. And I always kept a silent thing about it because I knew that a lot of people didn't understand it. But that stuff is real. People could ask me a straight question. Is it real? Yeah. Area 51, yes, it's real. Do you think Jimmy Carter was going to release the Operation Blue Book? Yes, he was, until he found out it was real.
It was real.
So you can't release it if it's real because we would be compromising operations. And then they changed the name of the code. So it's no longer Blue Book. They changed it to something else. So when they do FOIA requests, well, that's all they get, a couple of pages, And then when they switch it over to the new name, they're not getting the proper information. But, yeah, Jimmy Carter, he was okay, and he was going to do that. But he was practically in tears because he couldn't release the information. Well, what does that tell you, People don't get
Jimmy
that.
Carter was an experiencer. He had at least one or two sightings that he talked about openly as a president.
There's an official report. You could probably Google it and see the actual document. I've seen it myself. But I've actually seen all kinds of stuff. I've seen moon rocks that they brought back from the moon that was over at the academy in Georgia when they had the academies down there for the feds. And that was kind of interesting because I've studied a little bit of geology, and I've got some weird rocks myself, like Stonehenge beads and volcanic beads, stuff like that. But you'll never see...
I got to interrupt you. I got to tell you something. If you come down here, there's a guy with a booth. They have the vendors that sell their various items and whatnot. This one guy, he's got these artifacts. I happen to own one of them, and I'll show you if you come down here. It's a ring that's been carbon dated between 8 to 12,000 years, and it's got aliens carved into it, and it's not something that some Hispanic or Mexican guy made in Tijuana. This has been carbon dated. So he has these artifacts. I have pictures. I'll show you.
Yeah.
And these things are amazing. When you see them, if you haven't seen this before, it'll blow your mind, unless you already know.
Oh, no, I don't know, but I have something better that's 4 billion years old.
Do it, bro. Go for it.
I have a meteorite ring that I'm wearing.
Really?
4 billion with a B Baker, billion years old, and it was made by David Yurman, and it's fused with silver, so it's got like a silver inside. And I had to polish it off the other day, just recently, because eventually it'll start to change color a little bit on the outside because of the iron content. But you will not see it attached to iron, to metal, to magnets, unless you put a magnet, like a super magnet. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's not a magnet. It's not like a normal magnet. But it's a very expensive type of ring. It's like $1,000 ring. But, yeah, that thing's dated at 4 billion years old. You were talking about carbon dating.
This is pretty
serious. Yeah, that's a piece of
when you talk
star.
8 to 12,000 years ago, that's for people that are still like in semi-denial about the whole phenomenon. I mean, it's not even a phenomenon; it's a reality. I mean, there were beings of some sort. They came from other galaxies, star systems. They visited Earth, and shit happened. I mean, shit happened.
You've seen the movie Prometheus, right?
I have not, actually.
I suggest you get it. I don't save or buy a bunch of movies all the time. I don't own a TV set. I have Velcro covering my laptop computer camera lens, just like Ed Snowden. And I have an old flip phone that's a Samsung Convoy 2. I don't have the upgrade to a 4, but it's not a smartphone for obvious secret type security.
No, I feel what you're saying right now.
Right. So being a whistleblower, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to block the drone signals all the time, but this stuff with these artifacts, Art Campbell from UFOCrashbook.com, I know him. He sent me a book. He sent me another special book. He's got artifacts.
How old is Art now, by the way, approximately?
Oh, jeez. He's like 70 to 80.
Really? I mean, if I wanted to have him on a radio show, could we get him on the show?
Easy. I can do that. I can get him.
Wolf gets first crack because this is Wolfman's show. But
Well, I didn't know you had any radio shows, but if you do, I could arrange that.
No, but
real easy.
Wolfman, it's Wolfman's show. So, but after
Either way.
Wolfman, if Wolfman wants them, if after that, we'll have them for sure.
Sloppy seconds.
There you go. I mean, it's on. You got to have honor for your fellow man, right, Wolfman?
That's
Hey,
correct.
man. You were on my show first before you started with John Polk. Remember
Exactly. I'm the OG. I'm the original homeboy, right?
that?
OG.
We go way back.
Yeah, we go way back, man. Way back.
I'm going to tell you. I got to tell you a story.
Yeah.
John, this
No,
is
we
way
can't hear
back.
you.
We're going.
Yeah, we
almost
can
a
hear you.
year. Okay, about a year ago, there was a lady on
That's funny, huh?
Ronnie, the Theologians of Orion. Remember that show, Ronnie, with the Theologians of Orion?
Oh, that was great, man.
That was a classic show, bro. You that was a regular Monster Castle show. That was before Dirty Rotten Taro even came to be.
Oh, yeah.
And you had been partying that evening.
I was drunk, man, and I had an
You were
awesome guest.
drunk.
And I
You
was
were wolf drunk. But anyway, the reason why I bring it up is she is here right now at the Contact in the desert.
Oh,
I
put her
met
on,
She's
man.
an attractive woman. She's got
Go and
blonde
get her
hair.
and put her on the air.
She's not with me right this minute, but I will have her. She's the whole thing's over, so I'm staying. I'm just kicking back on the couch right now, talking to you at where I'm staying. But I'll get her.
Eric,
but
can I ask you a question?
she's very cool, by the way. I'll shut up.
Eric.
Was there a question? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you have to pay to meet everybody? Like, if John came up there, could he meet everybody like we did in Arizona?
Okay, when you park, there's this area you walk through. I mean, if you wanted to be sneaky, you can get in. You can sneak in without a bracelet, but if you want to come, I don't know. If somebody wants to come, just call me. I'll
it's
try to
different
hook you
than
up.
Arizona
I know
was.
some people.
It's not like a book.
It's not
area.
free. It's not free, but if you want to save some money, I'll see what I can do.
It's definitely for me. I'd have to get a deal like that. I mean, I could sneak in if I really wanted to, because look at my business, for Christ's sake. I mean, I had to go around looking for Carlos the Jackal on a midnight shift in Washington, D.C., in the dark. People didn't get that.
Anyways, I got to make a mention here. If anyone's in the Spreaker Underground, Monster Castle, bouncy castle, voice chat room. This is a voice chat room. If you talk, you are on my show on the air, which is fine, and you're welcome to, okay?
Okay, well, there's one disclaimer, Wolfman. You know I love you. I love you more than any woman, and this is not a sexual comment, because I am not a faggot, by the way. I just want to clarify that. I'm so far from a faggot that you guys would be pissed at me if you were hanging out with me. But anyway, the point is that we're not going to let that one specific individual into the chat room while I am talking on your show. If you do, then I'm just going to hang up. I
don't know who you're talking about, actually.
Okay, that's all we need to talk about.
That sounds like you had the same experience I had last time, Eric.
And our daddy, you stay out of Belgium, because I got lots of family in Belgium, not just Dutch. I'm Belgian too. He says time to invade Belgium in the chat room. I don't know what he's talking about, but he's from Holland. But it's not time. No, it's not time to invade Belgium. The Dutch didn't do nothing when the Germans invaded, so why would you invade Belgium? They're the ones that protected you.
Because they wanted to take over their land. That's the
Is it rich
line.
fuckers?
It's a fucking New World Order, bro.
Hey, I'm Belgian. I ain't rich.
Carman.
Okay.
New World Order is a
all right,
reality.
go invade Belgium. Send me some money, because apparently I'm from the royalty, original royalty line.
Well, then you've got gold buried somewhere. You just need to go find it.
It's actually actually kind of funny with my with my family's history. I actually have I am descended from a couple of the Scottish marquise from, I think it was
the royalty.
Yeah, royalty. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Direct
That's
descendant,
awesome.
Yep.
Browser.
On 2 different lines, even.
Yeah, there's some special stuff going on up there in Scotland too. You know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Besides Stonehenge in England. Of course, that goes back to the Joseph of Arimathea story.
Oh yeah, interesting. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even
Yeah,
think of the
you tell.
castle. The church that was there, that was a special church where supposedly Jesus supposedly visited, and they built this church, and that's supposedly where they buried the remains of Mary Magdalene, versus the theory that she went to France and she was buried over there. So it's kind of conflicting, 2 different theories, but I also studied that stuff because I also studied martial arts and Buddhism. And Jesus practiced Buddhism because he lived in Lhasa, Tibet for several years. There's a book, Nicholas Natovich wrote about that. He did the research. Some people say that's fake. And I say, well, there's other theories that back it up. You know, because supposedly after he left, he didn't die. He went to Nepal, ended up in Rosebal, Srinagar. And then there's a tomb over there that they have 2 people buried in it. One's a Muslim facing east and west, and then somebody that was Jesus facing north and south. 2 separate locations in the tomb building, protected by Muslims. They claim he's Muslim, but they don't know. They called him Yusuf or something. So it's kind of weird. It's just like the Ethiopian soldiers, the Christian soldiers in Ethiopia protecting the Ark of the Covenant in a building by an old black guy with a sword. And he's a Christian, right?
Yeah, Graham Hancock's first book. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's all that stuff. So I get into that stuff too, but that's kind of like, well, nobody wants to talk about it, so I don't talk about it. So
we talk about it.
Hey, Graham Hancock is here right now, by the way, John Carman. You can meet him in person.
Hey, do you have an email or something you could give out? Or
you could go to eric.johnson. That's E-R-I-K. E-R-I-K.
Hold on.
Dot. Okay.
Hold on.
I could tweet it to you, too. I don't know if I should even give it out. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, Eric.Johnson at
ERIK.Johnson33 at iCloud.com.
Got it. I'm going to send you a test. You'll have all
I don't have
contact.
my iPad with me. I'll go look it up. It's not in front of me right now, though.
Okay.
I'm sure it's there. It'll come through.
Or I'll send it to a phone number if you have that. But you'll get it.
Yeah, we'll connect. You should just plan to come, and I'll figure out a way to make it happen for you. Don't worry about the money part. If you could get the gas in the tank, we'll take care of the rest.
Hell yeah! If I could get up there, I'd drive up tonight.
Well, it's kind of late
Get
right
your car
now.
right
It's
now.
like 11:30.
Let's do mobile. We'll go mobile.
It's early. You know what? For Wolfman, it's like, oh fuck! I just woke up. Let's give me a cup of coffee and a few beers. And let's go.
Yeah, man.
Wolfman's just warming up. You right, Wolfman? You're just warming up.
I haven't had my breakfast, but yeah, my.
Well, you
I'm
could
just a
drive.
warm-up band, John. I don't know
could
if you know
drive-
this.
We'll
I'm
do a
just a warm-up
4-hour
band.
show so that
Well, you could drive faster when it's dark and it's cooler.
Exactly, you're right. You can
And
go
there's
90, 95 on the freeway if you're careful.
Is that all?
Well, okay, I'm just being conservative. I'm just saying.
Shoot.
I you know what? I got to tell you a story. I was driving to Shasta, and I think the speed limit was around 70, and I wasn't even paying attention because I was just cruising, and I was doing 95. I didn't even know it, and the guy pulled me over, and he goes, you're doing 95, and I'm going, oh, I told him the truth. I said, I didn't realize it. I wasn't paying attention. I was listening to this radio show. This Wolfman hasn't heard this story. It's a true story. I had my iPads. I didn't listen to the radio. I had my iPad in my car, and I was listening to Wolfman on Spreaker on live on his show. So I'm just cruising up to Shasta, and so I'm just cruising. And all of a sudden, I'm like, woo, lights on. I'm like, what? And I look down, I'm going 95. Oh, fuck, I didn't even realize I was going that fast. And so I showed him the cop comes up to my window on the right-hand side. I roll it down. I said, you know what? I know I was speeding. I didn't even realize it. I apologize. if you have to give me a ticket, I understand. But I'm listening to this guy on the radio, and I was mesmerized. And check this out. He let me go.
Yeah.
He let me go because I told him the truth. He let me go. Oh, he gave me a ticket for I didn't have my insurance with me, proof of insurance. Yeah. So he goes, I'm just going to write you up for proof of insurance, but as long as you have insurance, which I did, he goes, then, well, you can prove that. You don't have to pay the fine. And I said, okay.
It's a fix-it ticket. I was
exactly. This guy was so cool. He was just a cool white dude. He obviously wasn't part of the Illuminati or anything. No. He was a good dude.
No, he approached the car on the right side, which shows me a lot, too, because I know that stuff.
Yeah. And I rolled the window down. And
one of my guys got killed because he got hit by a drunk driver because he approached on the driver's side back in 78, 79, right around there. So they changed all the procedures in California.
John, you don't get a ticket when you get pulled over, though, do you?
Wow.
What's that?
They don't give you a ticket when you get pulled over, do they?
I don't get pulled over.
Oh. But if you did get pulled over, you wouldn't get a ticket either, would you?
No, I'll tell you, I did get a ticket. And I'm going to throw you guys way off because I was driving near Marine Corps Air Base Miramar, which used to be NAS Miramar. There's an area up there that they've got a phenomena, and I thought, that's got to be BS. And I heard it from a Channel 8 news lady, and I heard the story, and I said, no, that's crazy. People would drive by this area right by the air base where they're training F-4 Phantoms, jets, F-17, you name it. And somehow their vehicles, their gas pedal or something would get stuck. There was something wrong with the accelerator. And I go, that's really strange because you're talking about electromagnetics and EMP pulses and all kinds of other weird connections. And there are some experimental areas in the area, but you can't talk about it. And I go, well, that's funny. So anyway, I drove up there one night and had to come back south at nighttime. And I'm driving towards this at the air base, and I go right by it off 15. 15 goes forever, right? And I was going a little fast, and I started to pump my brakes because I was slowing down. I was going to have to make a 90-degree right turn onto another highway, a small 52 or whatever it is, 56, I think. Goes from there to La Jolla. And I couldn't slow down. This is weird. I'm driving a manual stick shift, 89 BMW. I've got over 241,000 miles on it now, but it hauls ass. But I had a problem slowing down, and they had these berms, and if you didn't slow down, you could go, that's where those tire marks come from, on those berms, because that's where people hit it, because they were going too damn fast, they couldn't slow down. And I pulled over, and there was a cop right on my tail, a CHP.
Here, don't you guys want a break? You've been going a whole hour here almost.
Hey, Wolfman.
I want him to finish his story.
John Carman is a fantastic guest. But I'm here, just to let you know, I got Jimmy Church. I got everybody here right now.
Ooh, Jimmy Church.
You want to talk to Jimmy real quick?
Yeah, okay. Put Jimmy on.
Okay, hold on. We're going to hand him the phone.
Hey, that's hot.
I didn't know Jimmy was here. Fuck, you guys didn't tell me. You didn't fucking tell me. Thanks,
Fade to black.
You heard of Wolfman, right? Just say hi to Wolfman. Just say Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Mike.
Wolfman Mike, how are you? Everything good?
Jimmy Church, what's going on, my brother?
Well, we're about to do a full round of tequila shots. Hang on.
All right.
It's live.
All right, guys. Here we go. Live. Tequila shots. The Fader compound.
Jimmy.
Holy shit.
Cheers.
This is gold, dude. You don't even know how gold this is right here.
Yeah, baby.
We got Jimmy Church.
Hey, that's special.
We got Jimmy
That was awesome.
from Ship Captains of Cortana. We got the theologians. Ronnie's here. Wolfman, Ronnie's here.
Oh, Ronnie?
Hey, kiddo, what's up?
Hi, how you doing? It's Wolfman Mike and everybody.
I'm doing good. I've been pretty busy, but I've been meaning to get back to you sometime here soon.
That's cool. That's all right. You're on my show right now. Oh, we're on the air.
Yeah. You still there?
Yeah, we're on the air. We are on the air live.
No, we're not on the air, no.
No, I am.
It's on the speaker.
It's all protected.
Oh, you are?
Yes, and you are too now.
Awesome. Oh, we're on the air.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not on the air, so now you are.
Yeah, those guys sound like they're having a good time.
It sounds like you're having fun, yeah.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
You know,
Pass the
and
bowl.
Yeah,
Eric's back actually is going pretty low.
I heard that there's already been some sightings out there.
But I can, pretty soon here, maybe I'll give you another call. I'd love to get back on your show.
Okay, yeah, and fill us in on the sightings. We're really interested to hear about what you guys have seen out there.
That was bizarre.
We did the whatever you call
I'm gonna go over here.
what are those called, Michael? The things my brain, I can't come up with the right word. The night vision goggles. We did that. I saw quite a few of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Amazing.
Definitely good to get a pair of those.
What did I say?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that they work pretty good.
I'm gonna. You're kind of coming in and out, so let me give you
Okay.
back to Eric, and his phone is dying too.
Uh-oh. Okay, thank you. That was awesome. Thank you very much.
I'm going to talk to Gigi. This is Gigi Rabbit. He has a show, Shift Happens.
Yeah.
That guy, okay, check this out. His boss's dad is Joey Poop.
His boss's dad.
Okay, here he is. Say
Okay.
hi to Wolfman.
All right. Wolfman Mike, what's
All
happening,
right. How's it going, Gigi?
brother? Hey, man, it's going pretty good. I'm actually, dude, why are you not here?
Why am I not here? I'm in Canada, man.
Oh, well, I guess that's why you're not here.
Yeah. I see enough, I see UFOs every day here, man. But I would love to come out there.
We're on the same network. We might as well know each other.
Dude, I'm not on the network anymore. They booted me off.
What do you mean you're not on the network?
They booted me off.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The Fringe? They booted you?
Yeah. They booted me off
I
because...
don't believe that. No,
Well-
you're still on the network.
No, not that I know of.
Wait, are you serious? Like, for real?
I haven't been on it for a while now, man.
Dude, yeah, no, I don't believe you. You're still on the network.
Well, I guess I'm not.
Are you serious? You're not on the Fringe.
No, I'm not on the Fringe FM anymore because
When did that happen? Yesterday?
no, it's been weeks ago now, almost months.
A week?
Months.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because of something had to do with swearing on the show and stuff, and he knows what I'm like. I have a badass paranormal show, so that's what I've always been like. I'm not going to change it.
Well, I still don't believe you, first of all. But
I mean, if you listen to other shows like Brainwaves, they swear and they're worse than me. So I don't know why he's got a problem with my show, and he's the one who wanted me on there in the first place.
Isn't Joe like your buddy? Isn't that the homie?
Well, he used to be. I haven't talked to him since he booted me off the network.
Are you fucking serious, dude?
No, I'm fucking pissed, dude. I'm fucking right pissed. I had to change all my jingles, change everything around. I had to do so much fucking work on all the stuff,
Dude,
hard work I did.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh, hey, what's happening, bro? Oh, what you got there? All right, thanks, man.
No, it really sucks, dude.
Okay. But listen, man, I'm fucking sorry to hear that. But at the same time, you need to come on our show, man.
Okay. Yeah, well, anyway.
Dude, I fucking love your show.
I started my own network is what I did.
I fucking love it, man. It's fucking brilliant.
Anyway.
It's fucking brilliant, man. I fucking love it.
I got my own network started. It's gonna be called the Spreaker Underground Network.
It's gonna be called what?
Spreaker Underground Network.
Well, you might have some copyright issues with that.
I don't know. Spreaker Underground? You don't think they'll like it? They actually like it when you advertise them.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Somebody told me about that yesterday. Spreaker Underground Network.
Yeah, they're not going to care if they like it when you advertise for them. I'm just advertising for them when I do that. They're not going to mind that.
I gotta go. But listen, man, you got to come on our show. How about not next weekend and not the weekend after that, but the one after that one?
Okay.
You do that.
Oh, just send me an email at monstercastleparanormal.com.
Yeah, I'll email you. All right, we'll stay in touch. And hey, I'm going to give the phone to
email is
Eric.
monstercastleparanormal@gmail.com.
Monster Paranormal Legend. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bro.
We'll get in touch. And here's Eric.
We'll have his
Dude,
contact your
keep on, brother.
All right.
So you guys have all of these houses.
Right on. So there you go. You got to talk to Jimmy Church. You got to talk to the theologians of Orion, and that was a Gigi Rabbit.
Oh, that was theologian. Oh, who was it?
That was Ronnie. Remember that show that we were talking about it 20 minutes ago? That we were all drunk. That's her.
I didn't know that's her name.
Yeah,
I thought it was
name's
Athena.
Ronnie. The girl that wrote the book, The Theologians of Orion, that her mother channels those extraterrestrials. Remember that?
Yeah, she's wanting to come on my show soon again.
Yeah. Anyway, keep in mind I've been pretty much partying like conservatively for about 12 hours, so just keep that in your mind.
Well,
Party.
hey Eric, I just sent you a message on the chat thing, so you got my contact.
My iPad is not where I'm at physically, so I can't check it. I will check it, I promise. But yeah, just plan to come up. I mean, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool people. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, Clyde's here. You can just sit down and chat with him.
Oh, I don't want to tell Clyde I'm there. I want to sneak up on him.
Yeah, let's do it. You know what? It would be fun if you wanted to. I could actually either video it. And he won't even know. I'll just stand in the background, and then you can walk up to him, and you can introduce however you want to handle it, and then I'll have it all on tape. And if you want, I'll send it to you afterward. It'll be fun. It'll be kind of fun.
Unless he remembers my voice, it'll be hard to do. But he might remember my picture, so he's got that information as well. So
okay, I have a stat for you, Wolfman. Check this stat out. We were talking to Clyde today, and he was talking about how many listeners he has.
Yeah.
It was something like 22 million. It was some ridiculous.
Who's that?
We're not talking just in the United States. We're talking worldwide. This guy's got a lot of listeners. So anyway.
Who's that?
Clyde, his name is Clyde Lewis. Your guest can tell you more, but he's pretty awesome.
Hey, from
you
Portland.
just Google Clyde Lewis.
Okay.
He's tell us, John. You probably know better than I do, John Carman.
yeah.
Tell me about Clyde Lewis. What do you know about this guy?
Oh, he's fantastic. If you want to compare Clyde with some of the other paranormal radio talk show hosts, and I haven't done shows with everybody. I go back as far as Art Bell and John B. Wells and a few other people, but Clyde Lewis is up there. He's really intelligent. He's well-read. I listen to him every night. And the last 2 nights he's been pre-recorded because he's up in Joshua Tree.
Exactly.
But this guy is so sharp. He lets people talk, and he lets them bury themselves, and he talks to all these late-night redneck truckers and weirdos and all kinds of people, profile that you can add. But I'd hate to get into a discussion about certain things in the Bible because I hear you. He's smart. He knows.
Yeah, if you want him on your show, well, if we could get him on your show, we got a whole bunch of. There's like probably 3. We ran into Laura Eisenhower.
Oh yeah.
We talked about her earlier, but she's.
How did she look? I'm going to tell you, as a cop, how did she look in her eyes?
Okay, well, she's had a few drinks. Let's put it that way.
Well, if she's not sort of dancing around and jittery and talking 100 miles
she's on a good one right now. She's okay right at the moment.
So she's calmed down. I would love to talk to her, honestly.
She's here. You know what?
Yeah.
Now would be the time to talk to her because, okay.
Well, she's buzzed?
No, she's not buzzed. She's actually sober right now.
Give her a bowl.
No, I can't do that. But you know what? The 3 of us could.
Yeah. The 3-way.
It's amazing. You got all these people in this paranormal industry, whether it's, ancient aliens or it's secret space or it's, the dimensional beings. I mean, you could go up and down and in and out of the rabbit hole. Every character that knows about any part of the rabbit hole is here right now.
That makes it real important. I have to tell you, I tried to reach out to her on a YouTube because I told you I listened to a whole hour and a half to 2 hours of her dissertation, And a lot of times people don't respond, and I'll put my email or contact information, but they never respond. So they're blowing me off. Or maybe they don't have time for it, or they're afraid of the questions I might ask. So yeah, I'm still positive. I want to reach out to people like that anyway. It sounds great.
I'll tell you what I've learned. This is just, and it's not that I know any more than anybody else, but my experience is that a lot of it is timing. Like, you just got Jimmy Church. He didn't even know he was on the air. I handed the phone to Jimmy. He didn't even know he was live on the air. But he probably...
What? We're live?
Do you know that you got to tell people that or it's against the law, eh?
Well, you're in
cool.
Canada.
Yeah.
No, we're in California,
that's true.
but he's the kind of guy that he's cool with it because he trusts me, and it's just we're just having fun, so he's not going to make a big deal about it.
In California, it's against the law to... You have to tell...
We're a two-party state.
Oh, okay.
You can't do a Linda Tripp routine on us.
Okay. You know what else? Let me tell you something else that's against the law in California. If the speed limit is 65, for example, and you're doing 95, that's against the law. But you know what? If you don't get caught,
really? I didn't know that.
If you get pulled over and you don't get a ticket, then who the fuck cares?
If you don't have the bumper stickers, I've got all over my car.
You got the bumper stickers. I know what ones you're talking about.
You know what the thin blue line is, right?
Yes, you have those special stickers they give out.
I have another one I just put on my window and the rear window in the front, which is a black American flag, and it won't light up until you hit it with a spotlight.
So that's good, though. You know what? Because then it makes their job easier, right, though? Because then they know you're okay, and they know not to waste their time with you, so they just let you go, right?
Maybe. Maybe. It depends, But it's like that drunk guy. When you pull over the drunk guy, it says, "Honest, officer, you only drank, I've been thinking."
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I tested a guy who was on marijuana one time, which is a combination of DUI, and he passed the test with flying colors. And I said, I'm gonna see if he knows how to do the count backwards from 75 to 55, and he did it. So I told him, "Can you do the alphabet
Holy shit,
backwards?"
hey, Eric, while he's talking, do you mind muting?
I'm sorry, what did you say? I missed that.
Can you mute your mic while he's talking?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because we can't hear John at all over the noise in the background there.
The filter.
They're partying it up over there.
Did you hear when I stopped this guy for DUI and he passed the DUI stuff? So it was a combination. He wasn't drunk. He was on something else. So when I had him do the, you know how they test you for counting backwards? You have to go 75 to 55 and stop at 55. Yeah. He did it really well. So I said, okay, can you do the alphabet backwards? He says, sure. He did it backwards. I could not friggin' believe it.
Well, that sounds like dyslexia.
You can practice. You can practice that.
Everybody, all geniuses are dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. I can read backwards, upside down, mirror image. I can write left and right at the same time. My name, weird stuff. But I had to write it out and go, wait a minute, X, Y, Z, Z, Y, X, blah, blah, blah. You'd have to write it down and visually see it first to do it. You know, and this guy did it. I said, hey, you can go. Just don't hit anybody, you know. But those are rare occasions because I used to do that when I was a cop. But I've got it all. I've got state, local, and federal training. That's what throws these people off. They don't think that I've got all this training, and they still don't get it. See, I'm still throwing stuff at people that they haven't even investigated yet for over 20 years. And it still involves national security, Canadian border, not to mention our Canadian friends, down to the Mexican border, and it's like an open sieve. I hate to use the same vernacular that they've used for years, but it's still the same. And every administration lies about it.
It's gotten better, though, hasn't it, since Trump got in there?
Oh, yeah, everything's going to be better because Trump's there, but it's like you could tell that he's hitting all the sensitive spots because they're constantly attacking ever since he won the election. Since day one, as soon as he got sworn in.
Like it.
Huh?
I can't
Well,
say anything like it.
we're
We can't
doing-
do anything
we're
without.
doing
You guys, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, so I'm just going to mute, just so you know.
Okay. Charge your phone if you can.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to mute and charge my phone.
Great. Awesome.
Plug in.
All right. And then we should take a break too, guys. We've been...
On. Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah. It's either that or I could do this while I'm driving.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea. Get in your car, get up, what's the waiting for?
Paranormal Radio. Monster Castle Paranormal Digital Radio.
And all right, so I'm looking for something. We're gonna put something on here.
Go to our website and follow us there. If you make a donation, every dollar will be put into a 50-50 draw. You could be our next winner. Follow us on Spreaker.com or get the mobile app, the Spreaker podcast app, and follow Monster Castle Paranormal and Dirty Rotten Taro. Wolfman Mike 47 on Spreaker and Skype for calls, and in Twitter as well. And join us in hashtag 47Talk for live interaction in Twitter. Alright, yeah. Make a call to the station at Wolfman Mike 47 on Skype, 775-990-8447 in the United States, and 226-271-3466 in Canada. Thank you, and shut up, Melvin Spacely. Trying to do a commercial here. Alright, yeah. Fantastic.
Wee-haw! Trolls are us, yeah!
Trolls are us. Do you have an internet troll problem? Well, we can help. Just search for trollsareus.com. We will send all kinds of trolls to the party that is trolling you. Just listen to our best customer.
When I was getting trolled hard by a group of trolls, and I said to myself, there's got to be some truth to what these guys are saying. It's got to be. And so it was at that time I started really replaying and listening to myself in the car, wherever I was. And I thought, I'm a pompous bitch.
Go to Trolls Are Us today and take care of your problems in our snarky fashion. That's trollsareus.com.
Yeehaw! Trolls are us!
Renounce this superstitious and hysteric program of the MCP.
You've seen ghosts, you talk about them, aliens, you talk about them. Are you kidding me, Wolfman? You literally had ghosts calling on a ghost box. You're going to lose a lot of credibility. Lake Monster gobble you up in one fucking bite. I'm calling you out, my friend. You were scared of the girl from Texas. Well, I sure wouldn't be sitting there admiring the rippling, glistening fucking muscles of the fucking marsupial.
She was hairier than this ass plug.
Yeah. Cushion eject. Does your cassette mechanism make a terrible sound like this when you open it? Well, we got something better for you. We got cushion eject today. We could get some funny sounds like that when it pops out. It will be slow and smooth. Cushion eject is the best in ejection mechanisms for any tape cassette. And we can install cushion eject today. Use call KTEL. More cushion for the pushing, baby. Yeah. More cushions for the pushing with cushion eject. All right.
Oh, she's back in.
Hey, I put a comment on your page.
Which page? The Twitter or the Spreaker?
The Monster Castle Paranormal page. It's actually the page where I'm listed as a guest. So
yeah. There's so
I
many
put
chats in so many places. Do you want us to go there and look at it?
Yeah, if you want. Oh, I see typos. I can't type for shit in the dark. I think you get the gist of it, though.
Every time he got pulled over by the police, he had his because he was retired, he would have his old badge. He never gets tickets, ever.
Well, some of that stuff's true and not true. See, I've had my share of being pulled over, and I've been let go for, just whatever, speeding or whatever. But I was out conducting surveillance, or I was doing work as a PI or one thing or another. So I've dealt with people that were just doing their jobs most of the time. But some guys were assholes too, and I've run across those kind of guys as well. And they wore badges just like I did. Sometimes you just you got to go with the flow and just do whatever you have to do. And if they want to write a ticket, you go ahead and let them write you a ticket. I think I had one speeding ticket in my whole life, and I went to the school to get it removed.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah, one ticket my whole life. So it's good. I've been driving since 1970. So that's over 40 years, right?
I've contributed to the state fund many times.
Yeah, there you go. And I went through special training, so that means I used to do police pursuit training, high-speed stuff, federal, state, and local stuff. So when you put through all the training academies and all that, you know how to stop on a dime, turn around at 180 to 360s, and do all kinds of stuff like the what do they call it, the pit maneuver? I call it the Rick maneuver. It's either the same thing. Chasing people down in high-speed pursuits, and then you tap their tail.
Have you done that yourself? John, have you done it yourself?
No, I almost did. I was in a pursuit from the border because a van was sent to secondary from the Mexican border, and he kept going. So I saw the yellow slip, which was on the windshield. He tried to grab it, take it off. So I chased after him, put the lights and siren, the whole 9 yards. That's the biggest fun and thrill in a cop's or Fed's career, is to chase after these bad guys, because they're hiding stuff where they've got drugs, and you may get into a situation where you have to pull over, pull out your gun, do whatever. And I've done that, and I've arrested people. But this guy kept driving, and I had a Border Patrol agent who was in a cul-de-sac, and he pulled off to the side, and when I chased the guy inside the cul-de-sac, which is a one-way in, one-way out thing, he didn't block off the street like he would normally have done, and I almost had to shoot the guy. And I let it go because it just wasn't worth that. It wasn't that kind of a situation where you wanted to kill a guy. You know what I mean? Deadly force.
I sure do know what you mean.
So I jumped back in the car, chased after him, and I flipped off the Border Patrol agent because he was sitting there with his lights off. I said, "You stupid idiot! You should have blocked him off. I would have had him easy, But he didn't do that because they're told to stand down. Right? That's BS. Interagency does not work all the time. I ended up chasing a guy through the streets, the city streets. He tapped my vehicle. I was trying to do the Rick maneuver or the pit maneuver on him. And I didn't get a chance to tap him more than once. It didn't work. And I was like, 1,000 yards from the border by that time. So I chased him right back into Mexico. If I had got him flipped before the Mexican border, he would have crashed into a big part of the border building area. And there was a bunch of customs and immigration inspectors standing out there because they wanted to see what was going to happen. Well, they put themselves in harm's way, which means I couldn't do the maneuver because the car would have flipped in their direction. You see, that's a logistical thing. What's that?
Did he get away?
Oh, no, he didn't get away. He went into Mexico, and they caught him and messed with him down there. But another case, the guy came back the next day, and I caught him at the border coming back. Same guy.
I bet that was satisfying.
Yeah, he came through my lane. I looked at him. He's nervous as hell. He handed me a resident alien card, and I go, something's wrong with this guy, and he looks really familiar. So I took him inside, patted him down, the whole 9 yards. I say, you know what? That's the same guy. He was a musician. He was driving a van. What was in the van? Or was he just drunk? Who cares? If he was drunk, it would have been handled differently, but he could have had a load of narcotics in the van. You don't know if he had people in there or not. So he risked his life. He could have got killed, and he's stupid. But he came back. He was so nervous. I don't know what his problem was. So I had to get internal affairs to come down. And they get into weird fights. Go ahead.
Have you ever caught people in cars?
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you ever caught people?
Yes. I've caught people in the trunks of cars. I've caught people in a whole vehicle full of people, and they didn't have passports or documents. They're just like looking at me. They were from South America. South Americans are worth a lot of money. If you paid money to get across the border, the Mexicans are like $1,500 to $1,000 or something. South Americans are like 3 times that amount, 4, 5, 6,000 a piece. Chinese are outrageous, 10,000 and more per person.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. Huh. So you got to wonder about the money and where it's going and how they're getting into Mexico. Mexico doesn't care if you pay the money, you pay the smugglers or pay whoever. They don't care. You're there. That's it. So you can blend in. It's like an invasion, and it's, for Canada, it's different. If a Pakistani wants to go to Canada and they immigrate, or they get there illegally or not, Canada gives them all their stuff as soon as they land. Yeah, here's your Social Security card, here's your food stamp card, here's your whatever card, and here's a job or not, and they give them everything. Then, once they get that Canadian ID card, they walk across the border because we have a special agreement with Canada that Canadians can come and walk across the border in the United States for 6 months, no problem, and go right back. But if they don't, they have to get a permit. See,
can I ask you a dumb question?
Go ahead.
John, why don't illegal immigrants just hop in a boat and then just land on the Oregon coast and just walk here?
They do. They try it. See, the problem is that's where you got Coast Guard and U.S. Customs and Immigration out there in patrol, but mostly Coast Guard. And surfers will take surfboards up from Mexico to San Diego, and they'll do submarines and drugs and all kinds of stuff. But they do. They come up in boats, and they eventually get up there, and then they crash into the coast somewhere and disperse. And if they don't know where they're going or they don't have contact to pick them up in the car, they're kind of like left out in the open, you know? But it's like, you have to understand this. I'm going to say something real serious about the attitude of some Americans is you see it on the movies a lot. In other words, once you get here, you get some stupid American to say, hey, you're an American now. Welcome to America. That does not make them an American because they landed here at all. You know, if you want to go back to Plymouth Rock, that's different, but that's before the Immigration Act and all those laws. But no, they still have to go through processes. But there's a place in the East Coast near the Florida coast. There's a piece of land. I can't remember what island it is. It's a small piece of land Cubans would go over there and get on this piece of land that belongs to the United States, and once they get on there, they're in the United States by law, by legality. So they can ask for amnesty or political asylum. If they get returned to Cuba, Castro would kill them. See, that sort of thing. So there's all these laws people don't understand, but Hollywood screws it up for everybody because they put out these misconceptions about what goes on. And people think, oh, well, no, it's okay, you can do whatever. And they don't. They lie. And there's so many liberals in California that they screw up other people's situations. Because I used to catch people at the border, and college kids go down to get drunk on the weekends. And when they come back, they're bringing a guy, and he forgot his green card. And he's from Samoa, or not Samoa, American Samoa is American, but... well, I don't think it was Vanuatu. I think it was one of the other island chains, but it was not Hawaiian. It wasn't American Samoa. It was another island. And he had a green card, but the other kids were trying to say, "Oh, he's with us. He's okay. He's American." No, you can't say that. If you say it again, I'll arrest you for interfering. They don't get that. And the guy says,
"What do they do? Send him back?"
Well, no, I didn't send him back. I just interviewed him and found out he had a green card. If he's got a green card and he didn't have it with him, he has to pay a fine, $200 or $300. They'll look him up on the computer, verify his information after they interview him, and he answers all the questions. And nowadays, because of a suggestion I made, they have a computerized system. So if you're fingerprinted and you're in the system, you can just put your fingers on a reader, and it'll identify you and positively confirm who this guy is. Then they'll let him in eventually. So it'll take an hour or two, maybe. But before, you cannot send an American back to Mexico. You can't send an American back to Canada because it's illegal for the officer or immigration agent or whoever who's doing that. If you came into this country as an American, they can never send you back. You refuse, and you have to speak to a supervisor, and you complain like hell. And then you sue them because they're violating your civil rights. If you're a Canadian and you live here, you have to have a green card. I've caught Canadians at the border coming through, and they were coming like tourists. I said, "Oh, what's your citizenship?" "Oh, we're Canadian." "Really? Let me see your IDs." And I confirmed them. I said, you don't live in the United States? Like they're not resident aliens? They said, "No, we're not. We're just visiting." "Oh, so you're in transit. You live in Canada. You came all the way through the United States, went to Mexico, and now you're coming back. Is that it?" And they said, "Yeah." "Okay, open up your purse, ma'am." Husband and wife, right? As soon as they opened up their purse, I saw California driver's licenses and resident immigration cards that showed that they were resident aliens, so they lied. I ripped them out of their wallet, took them over to immigration after I satisfied myself there was no customs issue. And I go, "Why did you guys lie?" "Because they were out of status, that's why." See, they could legally live in the United States because they had green cards, but they were out of status, which means they weren't living in the United States. They were passing by, passing through, whatever, and they were maintaining resident status when they weren't, which is illegal. You understand?
I understand. Have you ever
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Has there ever been like someone from South America that was dead in a trunk or anything like that?
Well, you just mentioned something we were looking for in 1985 because I was working in Calexico at the time in 1983 to about 86, and we had Operation Kiki Camarena. I met Kiki Camarena. He was a DEA agent. He went to school. He was a U.S. Marine, and he was a hero. And he got captured by the cartel, maybe CIA-connected people, which is a real serious radio show in and of itself. And they killed him. They tortured him and killed him in Guadalajara, Mexico. And apparently we've got 3 people that are still under witness security from the 1985 killing of this agent. And we had Operation Kiki Camarena so that we stopped every vehicle coming into the United States and looked at all the compartments. Open up the hood, open up the trunk, look in the back seat, everywhere. because the body was supposedly going to be returned, or it was a slowdown, like a work action. So that was during Reagan, when Reagan was president. And because of that, we forced the government of Mexico to locate the guy's body and his pilot, and then it was returned back to the United States. And I'm very connected to the people because I met them. I knew the family through other people at work that actually lived and knew this guy in school and everything. And the stuff that happened there is really bad. But yeah, they've done all kinds of weird stuff. They threatened to get an officer or an inspector or an agent at the border and kidnap us and kill us. So I've lived with death threats from the cartel since '83. And I had death threats when I seized a bunch of heroin in 1985, 86 as well, on my enlisted phone number when I got home the same day. Can you believe that? It's crazy.
How the hell did they find that?
Well, think about it. Internal corruption. We have people in the Customs Service that are connected to cartels. And when I caught that heroin off of a border crosser, a Mexican border crosser, that was a big seizure. I mean, that was worth millions of dollars. And that meant somebody was going to pay for it one way or another. Normally, we seize contraband, we arrest the violator, he goes to prison, and that contraband goes to the U.S. Attorney's Office as evidence. And then after the trial, it gets destroyed. Unless a guy tries to dispute it under an appeal, but they still destroy it. Well, what the supervisor did, who was a Mexican-American customs supervisor, I won't mention Honorio Garcia was his name, or is his name, and he called up some narcs down in Mexico, and they came up, and he gave them the contraband. I said, you can't do that. That's a violation of law. I could arrest him. That's when I called Internal Affairs. That's when I got the district director involved and all these high-ups. See, they violated the law, and they let the guy skate, and I could have arrested him. See, how would that look if I pulled my gun on a supervisor, put him in cuffs, and then threatened to kill him if he resists, and then call Internal Affairs and have them come over and then try to hash that out? That would be lots of fun, wouldn't it? At the same time, I'm waiting for a port director or somebody really high up. So it can get nasty doing your job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Frank Serpico case. Frank Serpico, the infamous whistleblower from New York PD over in New York.
Well, tell us. I don't know anything about it.
Oh yeah, it's a famous case. He's like an icon. He's also an April date of birth, so that makes him an Aries. It's kind of weird, Aries people in these special positions, but he disclosed corruption in the New York Police Department, and they're taking money and bribes and graft and things like that, and he didn't take money because he didn't believe in it. Well, they targeted him, and because of that, and there's a movie called Serpico with Al Pacino, very famous movie, 1973-74, and he got in situations, and they put him in a bad situation where he had death threats, and he actually got shot. Now, he could have pulled his gun on some of these people, these corrupt cops, but they weren't definite targets, so to speak. There was a lot of aggravation and stuff like that. So you couldn't be in the same car with these guys, you couldn't trust anybody, but they didn't step over the line just yet. You know what I mean? So it was all borderline stuff. But he actually got shot in the face because they didn't back him up, and he had a Browning high power with 14 rounds, the whole 9 yards. And he had to bust through a door on a narcotics buy. And that's a good movie. I recommend you get it. Serpico with Al Pacino. It's a very famous movie.
I saw the one with Sylvester Stallone where he's trying to bust the cops. Did you ever see that one where he's Freddy or whatever?
What was it?
He was like the dumb sheriff, and there was.
Wait a minute. I know what it was. I saw that movie. He was an undercover or plainclothes detective, and he was the guy that they called for the hard cases. I remember that movie. I just can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, he ended up having to kill all the cops. That was a great movie. I loved it. I forget what.
Yeah, he had a 45 in his belt, and some guy parked right near his car, and I think he tapped him or bumped him or something like that. And the guy was a Cholo gang member or something, and he just went up to him and ripped his shirt out and tossed him around because he had his gun right there. I don't know if he had his badge displayed, but he went after some bad guys in a supermarket, robbery, and things like that. It was pretty cool. I think that was his girlfriend that was playing the tall blonde model in that movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The Swedish girl. I can't think of her name. But, oh, yeah, there's tons of good movies that get into those subjects. I'm just waiting for somebody to do my movie, you know. When are they going to do my story? But you remember the movie about Gary Webb, who was the San Jose Mercury News reporter that reported about the CIA distributing cocaine with Ricky Freeway Ross in California?
A little bit about it. Can you tell us about it?
Well, there was a movie called the Kill the Messenger. That's the movie. It came out last year, I think. And I met Gary Webb. Gary Webb is pictured on my website, customscorruption.com, with me and Maxine Waters. They cropped it off, so he's off on the right edge, but I'm sitting there with Maxine Waters because I went to this Crack the CIA Coalition meeting up in L.A. Well, I had another buddy of mine up there from LAPD, Mike Rupert. Mike Rupert was also one of the guys that exposed the CIA director, John Deutsch, because they were involved in these programs where they were getting cocaine and distributing it through these drug dealers like Ricky Freeway Ross, who's out of prison now. And they would get these people involved with this stuff because that's what they did. It was part of a big operation, and they were trying to disseminate all this stuff, and they were doing damage to the black communities and all this. Well, I came out and exposed this stuff along with Mike Rupert and Gary Webb. Gary Webb ended up killing himself, supposedly, with a revolver, 2 shots to the head. And I don't know many people that can commit suicide with a revolver and pull the trigger twice.
No shit. How many
Think about that.
Get killed? How many whistleblowers do you think get killed?
Dozens. I'll tell you off the top of my head. Colonel Sabo, the United States Marine Corps, Danny Casolaro, another news media guy. I'm not sure about Ted Gunderson, former FBI. He was killed in a situation, it was questionable. Gary Webb, and then, Mike Rupert, he killed himself about 2 years ago on my birthday, so I can't forget that. He was up in Oregon, so he was up in the northern areas. He got so frustrated, it didn't figure out. Nobody would help whistleblowers. I'm doing radio shows. That's good. He did stuff, and he gave up, or it started to dwindle, and then people have problems. They turn to drugs or alcohol or whatever, and they just sort of go off in a different deep end because the stress and the type of action that they put against these people, like myself, death threats, job actions, all kinds of stress going on there, tampering with your vehicles. I've been in a car crash, illegal traffic stop. They
Shout
lost
out to
that
Yuck
case.
Nasty.
Say it again?
Shout out to Yuck Nasty in the chat room. Hey, if you want to join in, Yuck, I can add you to the call.
Or you can come in Discord.
Yeah, I'll entertain questions. But these guys are getting killed off. I got a buddy of mine who's ex-DEA, Sully Castillo. He's still in Texas, and they set him up on a illegal arrest, allegedly selling a handgun to somebody. And I said, well, are you kidding me? You can sell a handgun. You just have to do paperwork and do whatever. But they will set you up. The government will do that because you're exposing information that they don't want out, like the Clintons and the body count and the troopers that I mentioned earlier.
What about
that's
that
just
kid
real.
that supposedly gave all the information to WikiLeaks and then ended up dead?
Oh, Seth Rich? Yeah. Look at the situation. You got Ed Snowden. You got people like myself. You got Julian Assange, who they just dropped charges against him because they tried to put some trumped up charges on an alleged rape, so they could use that to get him into prison. And then once they get him in there, they'll either kill him or they'll set him up in another way. That's what they do. So he's setting it out in a Venezuelan embassy somewhere. And Ed Snowden's in Russia, being taken care of by our friend Mr. Putin. I know he's being taken care of very well because I got another friend of mine named Steven Seagal who's back in Russia. He's got a passport. So he's got dual citizenship.
So when you said that you trust the Russians, you really meant it?
Yes, I do. I've protected Russians. I've dealt with Russians. I don't go out drinking with them or having lunch with them or nothing, but I understand what's going on. We are not enemies. That was World War II, and we went and fought the Germans together. We are also part of the United Nations, are we not? Tell me.
We are. We are.
Thank you. Thank you. That should answer the question. A lot of people are stupid out there, and they don't get that. I say, wait a minute. Is China a member of the United Nations? Yeah. What about Russia? Are we members? Yeah, we're still all members. Okay, well, then what's the problem? Try to get it adjusted to 2017 and not 1945, because that's what people are doing, is they're trying to throw in the Cold War attitude, and that's illegally wrong. Look at Hillary Clinton. I'm not going to forget her ever. She sold 20% of the uranium through some Clinton deal to the Russians. And Mr. Bill Clinton, former president, spent time in Moscow for three to 4 months during some summer vacation of his, and they covered and sealed that record. Why? Now, there's a questionable relationship. If that got out, they wouldn't have let him run for office. At least the left-wingers would have used that as an excuse. And as soon as Hillary lost the election, they're blaming the Russian thing. And come on, there is no Russian thing. I've had contacts with people through the media, and I've seen YouTube stuff in Russian, in English. Putin denied all that stuff, and he's not stupid. The guy's a former KGB, FSB guy.
I am listening right now.
Secret Service.
I am not stupid. I am listening to you right now.
That's right. Vaslavadanya.
Yes, I am drinking vodka. I like the Wolfman Show.
and you like
Zdravia.
Huh?
Yes. Do you have a question for me?
Spasiba.
Yes, that's right.
What's your favorite judo hold, Mr. Putin?
I like the one where I bend over.
Well, he actually loves judo, and I learned it in Japan when I was in 8th, 9th, 10th grade, whatever. And that was like 1968. His style is the same style that I learned. It's under Jigoro Kano, who's the original founder of judo. My black belt test was given by Raisei Kano, who was the son of the founder. That's a big deal. It's like me and Steven Seagal. That's a big deal. But Putin really does live that stuff. And a lot of people don't understand that. So if you looked at my background, martial arts training, expert marksmanship, Secret Service, blah, blah, blah. I protected embassies, presidents, and all sorts of... I think I have a special background, and this guy does too, and he's not going to be the type person. And he's a Christian. Let me raise that. He's not a Kenyan from Kenya and a Muslim line SOB. He's not. He's a Christian, and he believes and says what he means, and he's straight. So when people tell us all this BS, they're trying to disrupt our relationship with them because that gives them an edge, which is control. And I'll say it again, that's how they control people, is to put some sort of an edge that people are scared and they're worried. So what a better lie would be, oh my God, the communists, the Russians, the Chinese. I don't think we need to worry about either of those people. We need to worry about this guy, Kim Jong-un, in North Korea right now. That guy's crazy.
That's all right. We will crush him like grape. Just squish grape in fingers.
Silently.
The brains pop out.
Grapes are good. Grapes are good.
What do you think of the meeting that they had with the Russian guy about Syria? What's wrong with Trump talking about what's going on
There is-
over there? Is he not
There is
allowed to
nothing
do
wrong
that?
with it. See what I mean? You ask me a straight question, I will tell you there is not a damn thing wrong with it.
John, I
In fact,
agree.
it's his job to talk to those people. What?
That's what I think.
Of course. See, that's common sense because we know the president has every right to make a phone call to Putin and sit there and shoot the shit with him and say, hey, how's your day? Oh, my day's fine. Well, I want to talk to you about this and I want to talk to you about that. And they talk back and forth. It's his job. Okay? Russian ambassadors and stuff. Now, they killed a Russian ambassador in Turkey, Ankara, Turkey, and I was just talking to somebody about a job back there through the American embassy, and that didn't pan out. But look at the timing. Some wacko nut job Muslim shot and assassinated a Russian ambassador. Did Mr.
Is that the
Putin
guy
send in
on
the
stage?
troops? No, he didn't.
When he was talking?
Yeah, the guy that was giving a speech. The guy walked up to him and shot him.
God, that was horrible.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you got people who are using all kinds of examples, and then Obama, the Kenyan, kicks out the Russian ambassadors, a few months before the election or something, claiming some sort of impropriety. Are you kidding? And then Trump will end up having to welcome them right back. And did Putin kick out our ambassadors? No, he didn't. You see what I mean? They're playing games and they're really pushing buttons. And Putin's not stupid, but if it's going to do any damage, that's the damage. In other words, Obama kicks out the Russian ambassadors. He's getting ready to leave office. He doesn't care about the repercussions of it because he's a Muslim. Okay? He's already made it public record. If things get ugly, he will side with the Muslims. You can quote me on that. You can look it up. But the point is, he left a mess. He damaged the United States in such a worse way, especially with letting all these refugee Muslim terrorists in and stuff like that without having them properly screened and vetted to make sure that they weren't what they really look like, But Putin could have sat back and said, hey, you kicked out our Russians, we're going to kick out your Americans now.
Yeah, well, that's why...
We would have taken 10 steps back because of Obama.
He said, wait till we get in there. And then they go, oh, you can't do that. It seems like he's trying to have good relations with them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Myself.
No, there's nothing wrong because that's what Obama was doing. That guy caused a lot of problems, and the whole part of disrupting and all that stuff is because he was CIA trained from the beginning anyway. You can go to Alex Jones on a Google search and pull up Obama, CIA, and there's an InfoWars article that explains tons of information. And if you took the information and researched it carefully, which is what I always try to tell people, research the information, look into it. But then you get left-wingers that say BS because they just want to be agitators and argue with you, but they have no facts. They don't look into things. They don't really...
John?
They want to force themselves, force their idea, and then you have to fight it back,
Do you know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, I've heard about it for years. I'm not so sure it's believable or not, but it certainly looks like something's going on because, the usual story is a lot of the leaders, presidents, future presidents, some world leaders show up at these things, and they've got this gigantic statue or whatever of an owl. Well, the owl back in the day was a very sacred animal that goes back to Greece, and I've done the research on that. It ties in with Athena, the goddess, and all those things. But they supposedly do all these rituals. There's talk, and I think Alex Jones went in there undercover one time, not to mention a few other people. They took camera, film, and all that stuff. But they supposedly have all kinds of stuff where they have, what you might term adult entertainment or maybe stuff that might go off in a direction where people go and they're having a party. But what are you going to do? You get a bunch of adults together, they have a little bit of booze or something. Maybe they're going to do what they want to do to relax or do whatever they want to do. That's up to them. But the idea is that maybe they're conducting some sort of witchcraft rituals, which is something they've discussed in detail, which is kind of gross because they're taking male bodily fluids with female bodily fluids and mixing it together and drinking it. And I'm going, well, that can make you sick, not to mention AIDS and a few other things, unless you're getting it from, very young sources. And then they get into that, and they talk about sacrifices. So they're trying to claim that these people are conducting sacrifices, which is Satanistic-type rituals. And I understand what they're saying, because that's what they're getting into and trying to allude to, but so far they haven't had proof, and yet they've got security guards or police outside the Bohemian Grove every time they have a function. So if you're not invited and you park your car and try to walk in, you better have proper ID and be on a list.
Yeah, no kidding.
Although some people actually go in through the woods and sneak in another way.
Yeah.
See, that's how some other people snuck in.
Like Alex Jones.
But exactly. But
do you know anything about Club 33 at Disneyland?
Say again?
That Club 33 at Disneyland. Do you know anything about that?
What is that? Supposed to be like a
have you ever been on
Freemason thing?
Have you ever been on Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, of course. And
you see all the people eating right there? And you're wondering where that restaurant is?
I've been at the French restaurant right there at the Bay Area where the little foggy, whatever you want to call it,
there's
swamp.
Somewhere up there.
I've been there.
There's a secret door that's Club 33. I guess.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to donate I don't know what it is, $20,000 a year to be a member of it. But there's video of it and stuff.
It sounds like Freemason stuff that Walt Disney was supposedly involved in.
I know, it's so weird.
33 is a special number in history and the Bible. Freemasons, 33 and a third. Sounds like a record, right? 33 and a third. 33 parallel, 33 is the year that Jesus died. All those connections is 33. So famous people like J. Edgar Hoover was a Freemason, things like that. So you'd have to study the Freemason stuff. But I believe they probably did. They probably had special meetings there because it was a special park. They'll shut it down for Elvis. They did. Elvis paid the money. How much money do you guys earn in a day? Oh, $50,000. I'll pay it. I'll give you $75,000. Close the park down. Have it all to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? You could go and say, "Hey, close the park down. I'm going to have it." But you don't want to close it because other kids want to see it. But I mean, if you picked a day and scheduled it, off hours or something.
Showing up at the gate. Sorry, Elvis rented the whole place. Go home.
Well, you realize Disneyland, very special place for me because I used to go as a kid. I loved the Disneyland rides, Peter Pan, all that castle stuff over there. But yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean, and right next to it, not far from it, is the Haunted Mansion, which is one of my favorites too. But you realize that whole place was built on a special area that they have underground city going on. So if the security people need to go from one end to the other, they don't go on top. They go underground. They're in an underground city of its own. So it's amazing what they've got underground. Yeah. So
that would be so cool.
That ties in with all the secret underground bases nobody wants to talk about, like Dulce, New Mexico, and Denver, Colorado, and these other places, because that's stuff that they don't want out. It's a big secret. They could get into a car in Washington and drive all the way to California if they wanted to underground.
That's what I believe, too. I think there's underground, freeways, all sorts of stuff. I think there's so much.
Look at what happens if they have a nuclear event. If they had a nuclear event, the continuation of the government has to succeed. So they have to take all these special people through Congress, the senators, Speaker of the House, Vice President, President, and they have to put them in secret locations and transport them secretly, safely, so that they're not going to get hit or targeted. And they have special locations built underground so they can survive there for years.
There was a guy on a talk show once who saw a truck at one of the military bases, and he like flew home, and it was like an hour later or something. And it was like a 4-hour drive normally, and he saw the same truck like an hour later, and he goes, "How did you get here?" And the guy just kind of smiled. He wouldn't say.
Well, all those truck drivers that are helping to build and remove all that underground stuff, like granite, dirt, rocks, stuff like that, they have to haul it out somewhere because they're going to take and remove all that ground. So it's like, I think Jesse Ventura ran into something over in Denver, and they cut him off. They took him off the air because of that. You know, because of the new development over at the airport.
Hold on.
I'm going to have to go now.
Do you have any questions before you leave, Adam? I've been kind of hogging here.
Go ahead.
If you don't, that's okay too. I just was going to ask before you leave.
I don't have anything on my mind now.
Okay. Okay. Well, have a great night, Adam.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on.
Come to the dungeon. Come in, Adam.
That's cool. That sounds pretty cool. Sounds like you guys walking right out the hallway, you know? He's left.
Is there anybody in the Discord chat?
Well, you're in the castle, man. Adam just went down to the dungeon with Igor. I don't know what they're going to do down there.
Smoke a bowl.
I think so.
I know they are.
Wolfman, I'm back.
Yeah, brother. All right.
This show's starting to heat up. I can feel it. The energy just shifted.
Oh, yeah?
I feel it. I can feel it.
Ask me a question, I'll tell you a lie, right? No, ask me a question, I tell you the truth.
I have a question for Wolfman.
Okay.
This is Monster Castle Paranormal, right?
Yes, sir.
What and approximately how long is Dirty Rotten Taro also going to come after this particular show we're on right now?
I don't think so, man. I got too many sound problems tonight. It's driving me. It's driving me nuts.
So we're gonna just run this show as long as we want, and that's it.
Yeah, we got an hour left.
Okay, cool.
And then
I'll have my people get a hold of your people, and we'll get we'll get the papers signed, and it'll all be good.
Okay. Depends on, I don't know how long are you guys going to be out there in the desert. Are you gone, or is everybody leaving now, or what? Are they going to be back tomorrow? What's the schedule there?
It's Friday night. It's going to happen Saturday and Sunday, so it just started.
Okay, well, let's cover it. We'll cover it tomorrow.
So you can probably call tomorrow night. Are you doing a show tomorrow night also?
Yeah, and I'll have everything set up and ready. So, yeah.
Dude, I'm just like, you don't even know, dude. I'll tell you off the air. John, you need to come up here. You need to seriously just start driving.
No, it's the closest I'm going to get to Clyde.
I'll introduce you personally, and you guys. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome.
I don't think an introduction would be necessary.
Okay,
it'll happen. It'll happen because I'm sitting here going, you know what? I'm not going to let this go by because it would have been nicer if he was in San Diego, like Comic-Con stuff. But
yeah,
I got to go up there and give him a hug.
Cool.
Yeah, because I talk vitamin supplements and health issues and stuff off the air, because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm into weird stuff. So it's like, I'm so multifaceted, you couldn't.
Okay, I got a quick question for you. Okay, so I'm familiar with, I'm sure you are, the DHEA. You can buy it over the counter, 10 milligrams.
I take it.
I take 25 a day. Is that reasonable?
You could take, I think 500 milligrams a day.
Oh my God! Really?
Hold on, I'd have to go look in my bathroom, but my bathroom is so filled with bottles all over the shelves. You could.
And then you were saying that you got to take an estrogen blocker if you're going to do the.
Oh, let me tell you. I talked to some people that do the testosterone stuff, and I found out that might have been poisoned because it's not normal for males to have lower than 200 on the testosterone count. So I tell all my friends, get your testosterone checked because it will affect your major organs if you don't. And people are dying of heart attacks and all kinds of stuff because their iron level's low, their testosterone level's low. So I take a shot every 3 weeks through a doctor, and I found out that if you take estro blocker, or whatever you call it, estrogen blocker, once a day, it helps to fight off the stuff that you get that's put in our food.
Okay, got you.
See what I mean? So you take a shot and the estrogen blocker too, or you could take the over-the-counter junk that's going to do whatever. But I get the shot, and that's the best at the top of the list. Or you get the androgel that you can spread on your shoulders, whatever, and then you wash your hands off before you touch a female. And you'll notice a difference. But your count, your testosterone count, and I'm not a doctor, there's a disclaimer, you have to get it between 850 to 1100. And if you're not up there in that range, you're going to get left-wing female doctors that want to castrate you and say, oh, but you're getting old. You're 50 years old. You're 40 years old. You're 30 years old, and your testosterone's too low. They're going to kill us off, and that's why we got hybrids running around trying to collect sperm and ovum. I don't want to mention Dulce, New Mexico again. But that's where these experiments come, where they're trying to survive the human race with the hybrids because our testosterone levels are going so low because of the stuff that's in the atmosphere, the toxic chemicals, the pesticides, the estrogen that's in the food when they're injecting stuff into the cows, the meats, the chickens. Russian chicken would come across from Russia, and it looked like turkeys. I mean, they're huge. You know, but all this stuff they're putting hormones, so it depends on your diet. So if you're a Mormon or a vegetarian, Japanese, Buddhist, or some other Amish or whatever, they don't eat foods that are contaminated with the junk that, you know, GMO, RBSTs, and all that junk. Right? So I'm only 64. I just had my birthday last month, so there's guys dying my age.
What's the estrogen blocker called?
God, I can't really walk into the room. It's called Estro Block, Estro Lux, or Estro something. There's a brand. You can Google it. But go on eBay. eBay's the best one for finding good deals. And you just have to know how to look for it, search it, restrict it to the lowest price first, and then free shipping and all that junk. If you hold on a second, I can pull it up off my own purchase list and show you or tell you what it is. I just got some black cumin seed oil, which is good because sirens in the background. What about
They're coming for me, are they?
Wolfman,
I'm going through back
I
to
think
the...
your people are coming to visit. You got visitors, John, at the door.
Wolfman, I'm going back down to the dungeon.
Yeah, I'm not going to get those kind of visitors. The ones I'm going to get are in the drones.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your latitude? What's your longitude? Over.
I don't know what
you guys, I'll tell you a quick story.
Igor, stop shooting at the cops. Jesus.
Oh, you know what? What's a good one to listen to on Alex Jones sometimes? He tells you about the stuff that he sells. You just get the ingredients from what's in these things. It's got chaga mushroom, and I've got acai berry and Amazon stuff. Oh, yeah. You can make your own recipe of pills or supplements. Goji berries. I said acai, pomegranate, more acai. Wait a minute, where is this thing? I'm going to find the name of this Estrolux or whatever you call it and tell you the exact name because you need to hear it. Then you can Google it and find it. There it is. I found it. It's called Estridux, ESTREDUX, estrogen blocker for men. Libido Stamina 60 count. It's like a $15 bottle.
Ah, yes.
And
My
it's 60
testosterone
pills.
I had tested today.
And they're 1,400 milligrams per pill. That's a humongous amount of milligrams per pill, so that's good. You get 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams, that's good. It'll block estrogen, decrease your fat, boost your libido, and it'll improve your stamina. And if you're not doing it 3 times a day, there's something wrong with you.
Hold on. That's a bold statement. What do you mean?
I just said it. I said it. I'll go on the record. John Carman says, if you're not doing it 3 times a day, there's something wrong with you.
What do you mean when you say it? Like, is it just completely foolish that we're not?
That's right.
And why?
Well, either you're not taking the time to do it, or you're not horny enough, or your testosterone level's so low, and the estrogen is countermanding that level. So you're contaminated and you don't know it. So I'll tell you what, I'm not here because I choose to be a monk, but I am a monk. And I swear to God, if I get up there tomorrow by noon and I'm surrounded by anything that's female of the human species, I might even dabble into a couple other species on this planet. I won't walk away without trying it. And I could do it at least 3 times in an hour. And
obviously these supplements work, apparently.
Well, hell yeah. And I got people who criticize, oh, John, you take too many supplements. I take 50 pills a day on average, and I'm just taking basic stuff, but I take a little extra stuff that most people don't think about. Like I said, I take this Estradux, estrogen blocker, but I also take other the chaga mushroom, I take acai berry, which is Amazonian stuff, goji berry, which I've been looking at for years from Tibet, which is wolfberry. And you look at this stuff, and you don't have to go out and get the male stuff. You don't have to go out and buy yohimbe root. And I've tried that. That's something that's pretty dangerous. You can go do a bowl and last for 4 hours, sativa or something, but that yohimbe root, that from Africa, that's dangerous. That's so full.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you're taking 50 supplements a day,
right?
And I don't judge that because there was a time I know I was taking at least 20, but that was a long time ago. But I can see 50. However, I'm curious, per month, approximately, what is coming? What would be the cash value if someone's going to buy that amount of supplements?
That's spread out. And I'm also compensating from when I was a kid because all we had was a 1-a-day vitamin, maybe. When I was in sports, we didn't have supplements. We didn't have Gatorade. We didn't have Joe Weider's protein powder and stuff like that. See, I didn't even tell you about the protein powder I've got, and that's only when I feel like doing it, But if you like, this one bottle is $15 free shipping. Okay, $15, 60 capsules, 60 days. Therefore, if you go buy 60, 90, 120 to 250 capsules of a vitamin supplement, you're going to last 3 to 6 months on average. So you may spend a couple $100 in 6 months. $15 to $20 per bottle, $15, $8. You can go to Walmart and get it cheap, or you get it offline to get a better quality. But you got to learn how to shop, or you're going to spend too much money or get the wrong product.
So you're paying at least $300 to $400 a month, though, minimum, right?
No. Spread it out. I'd go less than that because I would spread it out to 6 months, which means maybe 100 to 150 for 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
That's a fair estimate. And then once a year, you might buy something else that you got saw palmetto or something. My God, there's like 300 capsules. That's one a day. How much for the bottle? Oh, $6-7. That'll last you 6 months to a year. So it depends on what you get. I'll tell you what's really high on the list is astaxanthin, bioastaxanthin from Hawaii. And that's a microalgae in a gel cap. And that's supposed to be the best equivalent of vitamin C and all these other vitamins naturally from an algae that grows in Hawaii that's family grown and they've got a business. Those bottles are like $24, $25 to $50 a bottle. You can buy astaxanthin on eBay, $15 for a bottle, but it's in dried capsules, powdered. So what do you want?
John, what supplement that you started taking had the biggest effect on you immediately?
Oh wow, that's a good question, because I'm trying to think, because I don't want to begrudge the other ones too, because there's a lot of other good ones. Yeah, it's hard for me to talk. I'm in one room and all my pills are in the bathroom, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There was only a couple of them.
Actually, you gave me the list. I have it in my email.
I have a list. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you emailed it to me. I actually have it here somewhere.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can pull it up faster. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah, and actually what I want to ask you about is the JFK assassination, if you know anything about that.
Yeah, I know about stuff like that. I'll give you a rundown verbally. I take Hawaiian astaxanthin, selenium, zinc, uva ursi, that's for the kidneys, hemp seed oil extract, there's no THC in that, L-carnitine, Estrodux, the estrogen blocker, manganese, cinnamon, raw pancreas, dried deer penis, that's a Steven Seagal joke, B12, iron, turmeric is good, very big, turmeric, take 1,500 milligrams twice a day. L-tyrosine, moringa, that's like a vitamin C thing. Pomegranate's good. That's biblical. Pomegranates and pine cone seeds. That's research I've done. Niacin, DHEA, 500 milligrams per day. Shiitake mushroom, reishi, which is the red mushroom. Chaga mushroom, black cherry extract, which is for your bones and arthritis. Ginkgo biloba for your memory. Grapeseed extract is a powerful antioxidant. Calcium, magnesium, zinc, it's a combination thing. That's 2,000 milligrams. Saw palmetto, spirulina, that's your algae and stuff. Antioxidants, probiotics, that's important. CQ10, green tea, liver antioxidant pills, that's milk thistle. D3, that's your vitamin D from the sun. Potassium, pomegranate. Did I say pomegranate? I did. Cranberry, Super CLA, I can't remember what that is. EDTA, that's another new one. And Sugar Balance, Herbal Start. And I did put something about cannabis because I'm studying that as well. Because CBD oil is a healing part of the cannabis plant, and then the THC is the other half. Do both. You know, don't get hung up on getting.
Yeah, you got to get a mix. You got to get a good mix.
That's right. It's got to have. Back in the day, years ago, they didn't have as much THC. Nowadays, I hear they've got like 23% or maybe more versus what they had back then. But it depends on where you got it, I guess. And in the United States and California, they sell like $10 a gram. It's time to get it on the NASDAQ. You know, invest $1,000, they say, and get $1 million a year later. Hey, I'd do it. You know, but that's just a partial list. I didn't put all the ginsengs or the Korean or the Japanese or the other stuff, you know. And whatever you do, don't get that yohimbe. It's dangerous. I swear to God, if you take some, have a friend with you. Make sure she's really athletic.
I think that's Viagra.
Oh my God! Is it like Viagra times 100? Make your dick blow right
4 hours. 4 hours. I swear to God. It won't go down. Help! It won't go down. No, jump on it. Do something. Eat it. It won't go down.
How many people do you think ever have gone back into the doctor? If your erection lasts longer than 4 hours, see a doctor. Hi, doc.
Oh no! It's natural. That's natural. But that's just if you're stimulated a certain way where they claim Viagra opens up all these things. I go, nah, that's bullshit. It's stimulating something in your system that you're not normally getting. See, we don't get our proper nutrients. I could live off water and the stupid nutrients I just listed to you, and I'm not hungry. And that would affect all kinds of things, and I'm healthy. problem is, and I'm trying to lose weight because I'm a little overweight. I got a gut thing, but that's just because the damage I went through. But the thing is, if you have the proper nutrients, you don't have the same reaction. So if you're a vegetarian over eating meat, I don't eat much red meat anymore. Chicken, fish, once in a while, I want a taco. But it's not like you're out eating meat like all the other meat eaters. But, maybe if you're in the mountains like Jeremiah Johnson, you're going to go after a little venison once in a while. But you got to eat more green stuff close to the ground. That's what the Buddhist thing is in Japan. Eat close to the ground. That's a macrobiotic diet. Those guys are healthy, and they don't eat a bunch of iodine, which is your soy products and your seaweed iodine and your fish that gets mixed in, where they're getting pancreatic cancer all the time. In fact, they're pointing out, what is it, that special stuff that they were giving the oyster shell calcium supplement up in Okinawa, north of Japan. And that's because of the stuff that's in the shell. And they would eat off of the ground what they would grow in the ground, and it was permeated with this special calcium stuff, and you would eat it as a supplement. These people lived to be 90 years old on average. So they must be doing something right.
Hey, Wolfman.
Yeah.
The Jewish producer and One Angry Jew are not the same person.
I don't really know.
Yeah, the Jewish producer, his name's Joe. And he's not the same person as the One Angry Jew.
Join the chat. Join the voice chat and come on with us.
Yeah. I don't know if he's listening or not. He's in the chat, though. Anyways, did you want to ask about JFK still?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know other whistleblowers. There's a guy named Robert Tosh Plum Lee. You might want to get on the air sometime. I was on the air with him with John B. Wells a few years back before they pulled John B. Wells off the Coast to Coast show. They pulled him off because of the information. Something happened.
Hey,
that was the night where they extended the hour because the time difference thing.
What's that? What did you say that African herb is called again?
Oh, yohimbe.
Oh yeah. Does it kind of
YOHIMBE root? It's a bark.
Does it kind of make you go like
scrape
this?
It off.
Oh, that's got hurt.
You got the
Hey, I tried it out when I was driving up to LA to do a lecture near the airport.
We need the other sound first.
And I already worked the midnight shift, so I took these 2 pills, and I figured, I'm going to see if it reacts or not. And I had a whole bottle of this stuff. I was going to really get into that, So I drove up there, and I got halfway there, and I said, damn, I'm not getting a reaction. I've already been on the road an hour, and I'm almost there. So I took 2 more pills. So I took a total of 4 pills, and they're like 250 to 400 or 500 milligrams a piece, I think. I'm thinking 250, but right around there. So by the time I got there, parked my car, checked, and I went to the public room at the hotel, and I was washing my face off because I was a little bloodshot because I worked all night, and then went upstairs, go get cleaned up, and take a nap or something because the lecture thing was later. And by the time I went to bed, I was like, I couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
I was having a problem. I couldn't roll over. I couldn't roll over all the way. There was a tent.
Did you have an erection for your entire lecture?
No, I've heard of people that had that, but that's like nerve damage or something, right? 4 hours, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I finally got my jingle board ready. It was almost too late.
I pulled up a picture of April a while ago on the site.
Oh yeah.
You have some. The guests are listed there. So I go, oh, I didn't know I was on there. So I pulled it up and I said, oh, I'm there too. You don't have my picture, but that's okay. I've got enough death threats anyway.
She's hideous looking, isn't she?
She looks kind of like a witch, kind of.
She's so awesome. She's got a great voice, great mind, and she's beautiful.
Yeah. Is that the one, Elizabeth April? Right.
That is the one. The one and only.
She kind of reminds me of an Indian. She has a little bit of Indian in her. In fact, she does have a headband, and she's got feathers dangling from her hair, so she may have some Indian or not.
I'm not sure, Lord. I've never asked her that.
Interesting eyebrow. But she's the one that was giving me a reading, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, she's...
Okay.
Yep, that's her.
Quite incredible.
And she knows. You guys have no idea how accurate she was when she said I was surrounded by guardian angels.
She was on fire that day.
Really?
She really was.
Yeah, she did a pretty good job that day.
That was a special show.
Oh, except for the one reading where she said the person's husband was going to get better, and then she was on the other show, on Eric's show. And the lady called back to his show and said, "Oh my God, you were so wrong. My husband died."
Oh,
that was awful.
Yeah, and one reading was quite off. But in the other way, maybe he is better being. Maybe he's going through a lot of pain, and that was the better way out.
That's the other interpretation. I was thinking the same thing. Is you don't know the wisdom and the stuff that goes behind all this stuff, because a lot of people have had these after-death experiences, and I've listened to hundreds of interviews. I just heard one recently, just tonight, as a matter of fact, and they don't want to go back. They love it up there or out there. They want to go to the light and experience heaven and good feelings and pleasure, or just absence of pain and all these other things. So it's like, no, it's okay. But we don't understand that, because dying, suffering, and separation and all that kind of gets into it, you know. I've seen something. I don't know if I told you this, but after my mom died a few years back, just in the last year and a half, I saw something at 3 a.m. Totally dark. I live in an apartment. I woke up and I looked up at the ceiling. I mean, I literally sat up because I was awake for some reason. I didn't know why. And I looked up there, and there was a plasma cloud, multicolored thing floating at the ceiling in the upper left-hand corner. I go, wait a minute. There's no other light. My computer's off. My cell phone's off. Everything's off. And this thing is like there, and I had such a good feeling, you wouldn't believe it. It was
was it your mom?
I trusted it. I don't know. Could have been many things.
That's cool, man.
I didn't know, because I knew several people that are dead, so I kind of keep mental track of people in the past that are still around. But I had such a good feeling, you cannot compare it. In other words, normally a kid would wake up and be scared or something, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good idea.
I was not afraid. I'm not afraid of stuff like that, but look at my background. Maybe it takes something really weird to scare me, but if an alien dropped out of the sky and landed on my patio right now, I'd invite it in for water or something.
Hey, I've been seeing these weird things at work all the time in the parking lot when I'm on break, and they look like fairies. I swear, they're like little fairies flying around this. About the size of a bat, but they're white. I thought it was bats, but they're white, and they they're not shaped like a bat, but they're fluttering around, and they're like tall, like a person standing up, like as if it was a little tiny humanoid with wings. Yeah, exactly, a little tiny humanoid with wings.
I've seen those. I've seen pictures.
And they're flying around this one light all the time at work, and I keep seeing them, and I try to take a picture and zoom in, but I haven't been able to get a good one yet, but I will yet. I'll get a better camera or something to take with me, because I swear it's fairies. some kind of fairy creatures, like humanoids with wings, little tiny, maybe about 6 inches to a foot.
That's big.
Yeah, no, they're not small. That's what I mean.
That's not normal.
It's not an
That's
insect.
Not normal.
It is not an insect, and it's not a bird, and it's not a bat, because it flies at night. It's only at night.
Well, wait a minute. Do you guys get fireflies in your area?
Yeah, but this is way too big for fireflies.
No,
not blinking,
I know.
but I do
just
get them.
asking
Yeah.
Because you only see fireflies like in southern states of the United States, like Texas, Alabama.
Oh, we get them here.
Humid, moist areas, or like in Ireland and certain parts of England and stuff. But
I've got some stories about fireflies, man. Holy shit!
You don't have a tennis racket, do you?
Not right here. No, why?
You can go whack one down. And
Why would I kill them? I love those things. Not all of those fireflies are really fireflies. That's what came up to me and turned into a...
Listen. When I used to live in Texas, we had a trick because we could hear bats flying. You could hear them clicking. All you have to do is go out and listen, and they're flying around, and you can hear them. I hope you heard that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the noise they make. That's their sonar. So what we would do is take a sock. Nylon's better, but you can take a sock and throw it up in the air, and they'll attach themselves to it, attacking it, thinking it's a butterfly or something. And they'll get stuck in it, and they'll fall to the ground. Now, they won't really hurt themselves, but then you wear gloves, and you can pick them up and spread their wings and look at them and play with them a little bit and then let them go. But you still have to kind of pull their claws out of the sock, you know?
That's cool. We tried to catch one when we were little with the fishing pole, but they were too smart.
Fishing net?
we were just little kids, and we had like a fly on the end of a fishing line, and they would shoot down at it. But it's probably good we never hooked one.
Well, that's interesting stuff, because if you really follow the legend, it's like the pot of gold and the leprechaun stuff. Yeah, they've got fairies. They've got that stuff. I mean, if you look at the legends in certain areas, they've got stuff that is built into the rock. And I'm trying to remember the exact terms and everything. But I researched this, and there was an actual YouTube about it where these people experienced, it was either in Scotland or Ireland or one of those European countries where they had them, and there was a certain area where the rocks would become activated somehow, and these things, or these beings, would come out, kind of like an interdimensional thing. There was like a little porthole that they could come in and out of, but you couldn't travel with them unless you came in at the same time they did. In other words, the door had to be open. But the problem is, if you went in there with them, there's no guarantee you might come out. And they've had a few kids that went missing. So I don't know. But it ties in. Yeah, did they see fairies? Yeah, there's all kinds. There's pixies, there's fairies, I don't know, how many different types are there? Pixies, fairies. I mean, what's Tinkerbell?
Wolfman, do you have any mental connection with them?
On the show, do you want to talk as a special guest?
And you know what's funny?
Hey, you want to talk for a few minutes, Wolfman?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Wolfman.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Carman, we got the Reverend John Polk. Can he just say hello and maybe chat with us?
Yeah, come on for a second. We got so much going on. I haven't even done any commercials or played a song tonight, man. I did
you don't need no fucking commercials.
No, don't need no fucking commercials.
Anyway, okay, John doesn't talk like that. Okay, here's Mr. Polk.
All right.
Woof.
What's going on, brother?
How you doing?
All right. I thought it was me for a second. Can you do an impression of me?
When I talk like the Wolfman, yeah, can you do it?
When I talk like a Wolfman, can I do it? Yeah, maybe I can.
Yeah, buddy. That was pretty good.
An impression of John doing the Wolfman doing the Wolfman.
So we're out here contact in the desert, and guess what? We made total contact.
Beautiful.
So get this. We come back to the place, to the house to get his goggles, and we forget.
or we don't forget, Eric forgets. So we drive back and we realize, oh, we fed the cat. You know, Eric brought his cat. We didn't sleep last night because the damn cat all night long. Anyway, so then we have to come back to the house and get the goggles.
Did you bring a laser?
And so when we get back to the parking lot and out in the middle of the desert, whatever, he loses his key, and we're looking for it for like 20 minutes. It was a high-stress situation. We were going to go to the night watch thing to go look for UFOs, but because he couldn't find his key, we missed it. So now it's an even higher stress situation, and you know, he's my best friend, one of my best friends, and I felt like we wanted to fight with each other because we couldn't find the key. Frustration levels busting through the roof, and I'm like, all right, let's just slow down and wasabi and summon the gods to help us find the key. And when I did that, we found the key in 2 minutes. So then we walk over to the amphitheater where James Gilliland, who has his own ranch up in Washington State, where he guarantees you'll see UFOs if you go to the ranch and camp out in tents and stuff. Wow. He was teaching people how to summon UFOs. And while we're listening to this, there was a group of at least 15 to 30 of us that saw anywhere from 2 to 7 UFOs right then and there. And Eric caught it through his night vision goggles, and most of us caught it without night vision goggles tonight, like just a couple hours ago, and it was incredible.
That's critical information.
It is.
What you just said, because people don't understand that some of these UFOs travel so fast, they travel between light frames on a camera.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we saw, imagine a straight line going from left to right across your peripheral from left to right. And in the middle of that whole sequence, it did a loop-to-loop. So go from left to right across your vision instead of up and down across your vision. And right in the middle, it does a loop-to-loop and kept going straight. And that's what we all saw. And there was probably, 10 to 12 or more people that saw it at the same time. And Eric had the night vision goggles, and I did not, and all these other people, we saw the same thing. And then we saw even more after that. And here's the trippy part. I was just telling Eric, is that a lot of people saw UFOs after that we did not see through the night vision goggles. Imagine that. You know, there's a group of them going, look, and they're pointing, so I'm looking over there. I didn't even see what they were talking about. And they saw stuff I did not see when I had the night vision goggles, because Eric had just given them to me. It was we went through a big flap in, I don't know, maybe a 5-minute, 6-minute time period. It's a total trip, man. Anyway, it was one of the best UFO experiences I ever had in my life.
Do you guys have any laser lights over there?
And, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. There was this really attractive younger girl that had this green laser, and she's shooting it up at the area that we're looking at, and we didn't get any return or response out of it. Or maybe we did, but when she did it, we were expecting or hoping for a light coming back down.
Now, you usually do, but I'll tell you something. You ask Ronnie... Ronnie Dawson about that. He didn't have such a good experience when he shone a laser up at the thing. They came down looking for him, and they were not friendly.
Oh, really? All right. Exercise.
What color was it, though? That's the difference.
I don't know.
The laser or the UFO?
But you know, you got to figure that you're probably right. The color has something to do with it because the vibration.
Red, green, or blue.
No, wait a minute. Are you talking about the color of the laser or the UFO?
Yes, the laser.
No,
laser. Okay.
It can be interpreted as colors, like, you know, in Gangland, you wear the wrong beanie color, you can get beat up.
Okay, so Ronnie was shining a red laser up, and he had these goblin-like creatures attack him in his bed.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
I'm experimenting with laser lights myself. I've got a blue one, and I also ordered I also have a UV light, which I activate some ultra-sensitive stuff. And let's see, this one is like a blue. Oops. Yeah, that one's blue. But that one, you can't see the trail. You know, when you activate a light, usually you see the actual trail, the dust trail, or whatever you want to call it.
Right,
this one,
you do.
the blue one is like a blue UV laser, but you can't see it. So it's like it shows up at the other end, but you can't really see it unless it's totally smoky or dusty or something, I guess. But that thing, it'll activate. It's a special color. But I also got a UV light, which is like invisible. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I didn't mean UV. I meant infrared. I get them mixed up sometimes. Infrared is like you turn it on, and if they've got a laser infrared beam, I won't mention security back in D.C. or nothing, but if you trip that beam, it's going to set off an alarm. So these UV or ultraviolet and or IR, infrared, I should say, you can see things that you're not supposed to be seeing. That's why I said something about some of these UFOs travel so fast, you have to have the high-speed film that's like 1 million parts per second or whatever it is per frame stuff. It's so fast that they're traveling in between the light that you and I see human light. It's
right.
crazy.
You know what I've learned to do a number of years ago, about 3 years ago, I started to learn how to look into and be able to see within infrared and ultraviolet like spectrums by traversing my body, mind, spirit, so that I can see space-time vehicle that are masking themselves in plain sight within different light spectrums that we just cannot see with the naked human eye. And I've been learning how to do it. And so there's this lady that I used to work with a lot named Lynn Hartram that works for Dr. Edgar Mitchell's Free Foundation, the Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial Encounters. And I remember telling her, hey, I'm learning how to do this now. And I saw something the other night, and it was this red point of light, and I followed it for 8 hours, and it just in the same spot in the sky for 8 hours. If it was, a meteor, if it was a satellite, if it was a planet, it would have moved after 8 hours, stayed in the same spot, and then at one point it just vanished. And I told her about this, that I was figuring out how to look into these infrared and ultraviolet light spectrums and see UFOs cloaking themselves, hiding in plain sight. And she said, it's funny you say that because I bought an infrared camera and took a picture of a red orb. And the exact picture that she sent to me via email was exactly what I saw. And she saw what she saw in Massachusetts, and I saw what I saw in Orlando, Florida. So that was a trippy story.
John, you got to give us an update tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got what's his name, Brett. Brett. Let me look at my calendar. I'm trying to add Yuck Nasty to the call. I don't know if he's there. Yuck, are you there? Okay, because I thought he might have some questions. Yeah, tomorrow it's Karen. I can't read the last name. Isn't it Brett Collins? Is his
Oh yeah, Brett Collins Shepard.
Yeah, Brett Shepard. Yeah.
You realize in my Blue Beings book about the Blue Beings at the UFO conference that he authored an article, and that his girlfriend / research partner, Karen Christine Patrick.
That's who's on my show tomorrow. That's it.
Is the editor of both of my books, Yahweh, the Biblical God is an Alien, and the Blue Beings Visitation at the UFO Conference.
I didn't know that. I had no idea, man. Had no idea.
No, I've known them since 2014, and we're all Anunnaki research partners, and they've helped me author and co-author my books, and donated articles to all my books, and done artistry on my books, and anyway, we work on internet radio together. We have since 2014, so they're definitely partners in this whole game with me. And same with Dr. Sasha and Janet Lesson, who are presenting at Contact in the Desert, actually, this whole weekend. So
we had lunch with him.
Yeah, we had lunch with him. It's been good, man.
She scolded us.
Yeah, she scolded us over. Let's not talk about that.
Okay, we
but-
won't go there.
She didn't mention she was going to be on my show tomorrow. Maybe
Yeah.
she forgot. I better
Here.
email her.
Reminder.
Here, let me give it back to Eric.
No.
I got 4%. We'll give it back
Hey.
to John. There's only 4% on my battery.
Tell John thank you for coming on and giving us the report.
Okay.
Thank him for me.
Absolutely. We'll be in contact all weekend if you want us to chime in again.
Yeah,
We
tomorrow
can.
for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna probably.
If you
be...
have, I'm sure you have more shows. So,
Dude,
you know,
I'm
hit us
gonna
up.
tomorrow after I fix my sound problems. I'll probably be broadcasting all day long, and I might just cover the whole day. Come in and out, maybe play a couple reruns, but like I gotta.
Eric said Skype him.
Yeah,
just Skype me, and then I'll make it happen. I mean, the thing is, the batteries get sucked dry fast up here. It's weird. I'm not kidding you.
And there's no.
So tell John.
There's an energy vortex here. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's bizarre, dude. I'm constantly running to my car to charge my batteries, and I don't even do nothing. It's like it sucks energy.
Get one
So-
of those
I'm not
mobile
bullshitting.
chargers, Eric.
Tell John that I have a 24/7 station now. So if you want to put your,
Yeah, you know what Eric was telling me, and I'm like, me and Spaceboy and the gang, we need to get on that platform and do what you're doing because it makes total obvious sense to stream live 24/7.
yeah, I figured out how to do it. Well, I have some few kinks to work out tonight. I had to shut it down, but it's something I did wrong with the way I uploaded.
Teach us what to do,
Ask him
man.
how he gets away with using the word Spreaker.
Yeah, I don't really know if I can or not. I break a lot of rules.
you're just testing the waters right now.
Well,
it's a hot tub, and you put your toe in there. You just see what it's like.
I'll tell you how I get away with it because it says anyone who belongs to Spreaker, it says right in your contract that they like it when you advertise for them, and you will be rewarded. So by doing that, I'm advertising for them,
Dude,
and I will be rewarded.
You got my tweet. That was since I've known you, that was the most brilliant thing you've done so far, and I mean that from my heart. It was fucking brilliant, dude. Dude, God bless you.
Yeah.
Roll with it, brother. Roll with it.
I'm gonna do it.
Language in the contract seems to support what you're doing anyway because they told you to support them
That's
by
right.
using their names.
That's exactly right. So that's what I'm doing.
Anyway, right?
Okay, hey, just so you know, I have 1%, so we might lose you. So you guys let Darren and you guys will talk to John. But thank you very much. It was awesome to hang out with you guys tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for chiming in, and we'll be getting in touch with you tomorrow, and hopefully we can cover the conference more. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, definitely. Okay, brother. Have a good night. Thanks, John.
Hey,
Thanks, Darren. All right, good night.
All right. Good night, guys. And don't run around in your underwear because that's how you'll get abducted again.
What underwear?
Everyone I know who's got abducted, they were in their underwear.
So that's why I don't get abducted.
Oh, you don't wear underwear. I get it.
We'll flow on the uptake there.
All right. This was a crazy show tonight, eh? And I almost wasn't going to do one.
Hey, you know what? That works out that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a good one.
I forgot all about those guys up north of me, and I was going, that it tied in perfect, so that's good too.
Well, the guys were smart that were in our Bouncy Castle voice channel because they didn't want to be on the air all the time, so they all went to Voices of Gods so they can talk about us and make fun of us while we're on the air. It's pretty smart.
You know what? You should have somebody up there, if not me or Eric or somebody should be transmitting. You should do a live show tomorrow or Sunday.
Oh, I'm gonna.
From Joshua Tree.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. That's where they are. They're at Joshua Tree, so we just exactly. We're gonna.
Oh, well, I'm seriously thinking I might drive up there. I don't have anything going on tomorrow. I just might drive up there.
You got a portable Skype on your phone, then you can cover it for us. You could be on the spot reporter like Eric.
Well, I have a cell phone, but
actually, yeah, that'll work because I got the call-in number anyway.
Let's do an
And it's a
extended show
club number.
My problem is I have to bring my attachment to charge from the car, but I can probably do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a lot of people have those portable power packs. That might work.
Oh yeah, I have one of those too. It's a solar powered.
Oh, wow.
Well, I've got a solar powered trickle charger in my car for my battery. I got a solar powered pocket pack that you have to hook up. I haven't used it, but it's supposed to be able to work to the cell phone. But I didn't really think about it. But I've got a connector. It's in my car. I'd have to hook up to the cigarette lighter.
Right on.
Well, shoot, man, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, and actually, I think the other person that's on with us tomorrow, Karen is there too. So our guest is gonna be at Contact in the Desert tomorrow too. Wow.
You gotta go, John.
It's all about Contact in the Desert.
Yeah, I should. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to wear because it's going to be kind of hot or warm. So it's going to be shorts and T-shirt type stuff,
Take some of those
Casual
roots and wear some
dress.
tight shorts.
How's that?
Take some of those African roots and get some really tight, like, basketball shorts.
Well, I've already got sunburned from yesterday. I was out in the sun 3 hours and I forgot and I bought some suntan lotion today, day late, but I started wearing shorts 2 weeks ago because the weather changed.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah, you got to have the tank top, you got to have sunscreen and all that. So I'm prepared. I got the water.
They're
I'm going to
pretty
do
casual. Everyone.
Hey, you know what? I need you guys to send me Eric's phone number or text it to me on my cell phone so I could contact him when I get up there because I don't have his number.
Gotcha.
I've already connected to him on the Skype.
I've got everything yet. Or you can,
Yeah, we'll give you everything.
Actually, you can also just message him.
Well, I did, but
in
he's
Skype.
not on his computer or whatever.
I'll give you his phone number. Don't worry.
His phone
Can
died.
you text it to me and I'll just save it or email it, one or the other?
Chat. Or not the speaker chat, the Skype chat.
Yeah, or you know what you do is go on his Twitter. It's @AwakeningMan. And
I already
he's always on there.
already sent that, but he couldn't access to it because of what he was using, I guess, at the time. So.
Oh, yeah, because his phone's dead. But he'll
Right,
be back
that's
in
what I
there.
was trying to think.
Yeah, he's always got some way. But, yeah, well, I'll send it to you. I just have to look it up on my phone, and then I got your number on my phone, too, I think.
You better.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember where it is. I have it in your email, too. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds
it's
good.
right there on the
I'm
screen
gonna
there,
have to
too.
think about going up there. Maybe I'll get lucky, too.
Hey, packs and numbers, baby.
Yuck! How you doing, brother?
Yuck, nasty.
Hey, what's going on, Wolfie? What's going on, motherfucker? I'll give you some pussy out in the desert, baby.
Yuck Nasty, everybody. Give a good warm welcome for Yuck Nasty.
All right.
Got to show up when there's 20 minutes left. What's going on in the desert?
UFOs and shit.
Like in the desert, like New Mexico?
No, Upper Desert.
Specifically.
Palm Springs, Joshua Tree.
Oh, Joshua Tree? And you're going to be there tomorrow?
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Man, I hope you see some titties at least, brother. If not some UFOs, some motherfucking areolas.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you were saying about getting lucky, right?
Exactly.
Attaboy. Sorry, I just wanted to chime in.
Well, if aliens are there, we have to mix with the aliens too sometimes.
Yeah, they spread their seed onto us. You got to spread it back.
Exactly. I don't think I've heard of anybody who said they've had an experience with the other species yet. It's usually Whitley Strieber doing the other thing. That's too gay. Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Joshua Tree National Park.
Yeah,
straight up 15 and hang a right at Palm Springs.
I don't have you in my Skype yet, John.
What's that?
I don't think we're friends in Skype yet.
Oh.
I'm.
Send your request to John Drake MI6.
Okay.
Secret
No
agent
space,
man.
all together. John, or I do the capital J and the capital D for Drake, and then capital MI6. But John Drake MI6 all together. That should work.
This PC search monks. All right. I've got a really good where is it? Aha! Here it is. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. I got a song for you, John. It's your theme song that I picked out for you.
Oh, Danger Man?
It's kind of like that.
Or Secret Agent Man, one of the two?
It's kind of like that. Here we go. 4 minutes left, so I'm going to roll it. All right. Secret Agent Man. No, it's actually Skylab by the Monks. But it sounds like Secret Agent Man, kind of, you know. It's cooler. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for coming on, John.
That's good music. I love it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good. Almost sounds like surfer music.
Yeah. And it's got spacey sounds in it.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, man. Well, I'm going to sign off. Good talking to you. Let's do it again.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Thanks,
For
John.
sure. We got to keep in touch, man.
Just accept my friend request.
I'm fast.
Okay. Yuck. What are we doing next, buddy?
Oh, we gonna fuck around. Yeah, we're gonna be right back. That's right.
Yeah, should we? Now that you're here, I don't know if I could resist doing some prank calls or some shit.
Oh man, I'm live on YouTube and everything, all ready with us.
Oh man, I'll just have to reboot this and put it over to Dirty Rotten Taro.
Yeah.
All right. So, listen to us on Spreaker.com or tune in radio at Monster Castle Paranormal. Just, yeah. Or follow me on Twitter, WolfmanMike47. Also, that's the Skype name if you're calling in. Call in at 775-990-8447 on Dirty Rotten Taro for abuse and psychic readings and tarot readings that will probably warp your mind. Music by Shylock and Relic, Adam Shadow, and the Monster Rock Band. All material on this show cannot be distributed or sold without written permission from Igor.
That's right, Wolfman. You have to answer to me.
All right, well, join us for our next show on Dirty Rotten Taro on the same Spreaker network. I'm not on my 24/7 right now. It'll return tomorrow. It's due to technical problems. Anybody else want something to say before it's gone? 47 seconds.
Man, we love you guys. Wolfman loves you guys. Yup Nancy loves you too.
Good show. Good show, guys.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, me too.
I almost didn't.
I hope my sound is okay.
Oh yeah, well, it's not as good as Skype, but Yeah, we tried it out, something to try.
Yeah, I'll re-listen, see how it sounds. Shout out to Stabby for setting this Discord chat up.
Yeah, it's cool.